Okay, everybody, welcome to the brand new series of lectures called Abracadabra. I create what I speak. And this is the very first lecture, and it's guaranteed that as you go through these lectures, you're going to find yourself completely changing the way you see the world. This is a very powerful, powerful series. This follows the series that was the Eye of Ra, and the Eye of Ra has already changed lives like this within 24 hours, and this follows that. So you go from Seventh Seal, Deja Vu, Eye of Ra, Abracadabra. I create what I speak, which is the definition of abracadabra. You should know. Abracadabra literally means I create what I speak, or I manifest what I say, or any form of that. What I wanted to go over in the first lecture, and all the lectures will build on top of each other, is this idea of sacredness. It's a word a lot of people like. Sacred is a very nice word. I wouldn't say 100% of the population, because not everybody reacts the same way to these words. But the majority, when you say sacred, it does something to their mind, right? And so Kim Face actually gives me the chills. Someone said, people love that picture. I put it on Instagram too. So let's talk about this idea of sacredness in regards to I create what I speak. The knowledge I'm going to give you comes from many different areas of life that I combine, right? Which is my knowledge. And let's talk about a few different areas. In the ancient times, or not even that ancient, not too long ago, they used to do exorcisms. They would go into houses and get rid of the fucking demons, right? And they would read the Bible, or they would read some kind of holy book, and they would do things like this and put the water. Okay? Mm-hmm. How does, first of all, the water become holy water?
It's blessed.
It's blessed. It's not like there's a holy spring somewhere, right? You don't go grab holy water from the holy spring. You grab regular water, and then here we go, you bless it. I'm going to put that in quotes. And what the fuck does that mean, you bless it? Does anybody know how you bless holy water?
You like...
How you bless water and make it holy? Yeah, Hannah.
You... it's not like cast a spell, but like you pray with it, or like you give it like a sing or a prayer or something to make it what it is.
Mm-hmm. You agree?
Yeah, I call it a spell though.
Call it a spell?
Yeah.
Okay, so I know you don't know that. It's not your area of knowledge. You take water and you pray over the water or into the water, and you put intention in it that you're going to make this water holy, and then you read some kind of scripture over it. When it's done, that water is now holy water. Now, it may sound a little absurd to you. Remember, maybe we're in 2017 while I'm making this video. Maybe you'll be watching this in 2079. Who knows, right? And by then, science is different. And it may sound ridiculous, but there was a time when the entire world would totally believe in that holy water. Even in 2017, there's over a billion people that believe in the holy water. That's simply counting Christians. Then we can take all the Hindus, and they believe in their holy water too. And now we're over 2 billion people at least. That's a lot of people who, whether or not you like it or not, believe in such thing as a holy water. So whether you say it's true or false, real or not real, you have to understand through Diamond Mind videos, it's somewhere in there, that perception creates reality for people. So if that person believes that holy water is real holy water, and I put holy water on them, they're going to act as if it's real. You get it? So when they're doing the exorcism, the girl or the boy, the person being possessed, in quotes, during that time, everyone is in agreement that this holy water does something. Right? Whether or not it does or not, that's not for me to say in this lecture. What is for me to say is, 1, how does water become holy water? By chanting over it, casting a spell, praying, chanting, doesn't matter. Secondly, you declare. And I want you to get this word, to declare. Let's look up declare in the dictionary together. Let me see what the dictionary says about this.
Cool.
Declare. To make known or to state clearly. Okay? To announce officially or to proclaim. To state emphatically with emphasis. That's declaring. Okay? Everybody get that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, you declare the water as holy, which means you make a statement, an emphatic, an emphasized statement. Boom. You pray over it, you make it. Now, at that moment, the water becomes holy, and prior to that, it's not holy, but then it's holy. And suddenly it can affect somebody a certain way, and before it couldn't affect somebody a certain way. And there's enough evidence all throughout history to say that if the water was holy, it would affect somebody whether it wasn't holy. Simple. You agree with this? Like,
Yeah.
it's observable. It's been there. It's been done. Even now, you walk into a church, you get a bunch of Christians together, you go into India, and they have these yogis sitting there in these festivals, and they'll put water on you, and the people will receive the blessing. Well, basically, what you have is a regular water. I may have repeated this, by the way, because it cut off. So if this is a repeated statement, that's fine. If not, then here we go. You have regular water, something normal, and then you take it, you pray over it or chant over it, you talk over it, you put intention in it, and then you declare it. So we looked up the word declare. Again, this may already be on this. Bear along if it is. Little pop-ups. Disturb the. To declare means to make known or to state clearly. To announce officially. To state emphatically, which means with emphasis. With emphasis, I declare.
Yeah.
I say this is what it is. Right? Mm-hmm. And so, again, when you look at like an exorcism or something like that, the person, is talking, reading the Bible, and I declare in the name of the Holy Ghost, I be gone, demon, be gone. It's a declaration to go, to be gone, right? And then when we get into the ceremony of marriage, all of those things, the music, the food, the vows, everything is being set up for the final moment where the priest says, by the power vested in me through the church and through God, I now, or something like that, I now pronounce you husband and wife. You may now kiss the bride. At that moment they kiss. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to present to you Mr. and Mrs. That's a declaration. Until then, there's no marriage. Mm-hmm. And imagine if a ceremony was missing the declaration, the abracadabra. I create what I speak. So we give the minister the authority to marry them. Mm-hmm. We give the priest the authority to make the water holy. Right? When a hypnotist hypnotizes somebody, at some point, when they have good control over the person, they can then say, you now see this, or you don't see that, or now you're itching, or now you're hot, now you're cold, all these things. What happens is they declare it to be true, it becomes true, and they create as they speak. And that person then, for that person, that is real, not everybody else. So this is powerful to know that you can actually do this in the mind. Like I was saying, I don't know if it was in the video or not, but what I'm interested in is the mind and communication and how this fits into it. Now, you could be a sorcerer and use this in your own field. You could be a businessman. This is my field of the mind and communication. How does this apply? Abracadabra. What, Hannah?
Well, it just like, per the subjects that you're comparing to and teaching with, it makes me think about like our society and people and like the way that they're hypnotized into this like system and what it does to people, and like it's like making my skin crawl.
That's right. Everybody is. There is a constant abracadabra taking place on TV. They are creating what they are saying. Okay? And your parents were creating what they were saying. And your friends. And after a while, you walk around, a person walks around as someone who has been created by others' words and ideas, but not their own. So when I met Manu, he woke me up, you could say. What did he wake me up to? He woke me up to the idea that, wait, it doesn't have to be like this. That was one of the biggest realizations I had with him. Like, wait, I don't have to go to college. I don't have to do what people tell me. I don't have to look like them. I don't have to talk like them. I don't even have to act like they say I should act. If none of those things are real, I could actually create my own reality. I can start to declare who I am to the world. I'm not a nerd. I'm not going to grow up to be a doctor. That is not my declaration. Who am I going to be? What am I going to say about my life? What am I going to say about myself? What am I creating with my own words? Okay? A Dance Matrix sold. This is Serena's DVD. I like that I'm still making money off of it. So, everywhere you look, once you start to see through the eyes that I'm giving you right now, or through the filter that I'm giving you right now, you'll start to say, what are they saying? And without analysis, you accept it as real. So we assume that what it says on that Coke bottle, the can, is what it is. It's declaring that's what's in it, and we're not going to go and fucking mix the drinks and figure it out and look at the ingredients. We go, that's what it is. But what it's telling us is what's there. Mm-hmm. And the words in your environment are always telling you what's going on. Mm-hmm. And more than that, they're actually telling you what you need to do. At a stop sign, it says stop or whatever, right? But we start to unconsciously follow these things without consciously looking at them and going, oh, I'm actually following a command right now. And I have the choice to not stop. I choose to stop because it's survival to stop. It doesn't mean I stop because it says stop. Mm-hmm. That's how people think. Right? Like to them, the idea of going against what someone has said seems so off. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Because they've never analyzed that that reality was created for them by somebody before them declaring this is so. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
Okay, good. So, abracadabra. We're going to talk about making something sacred and why this is important and how you could use it. So, how do you use this? I'm going to give you a few steps up to how I will use it. Okay? Or the most important way that I use it, because I use it in a lot of different ways. But here's one way it's been used. Here's one way you can use it. And it's not the most important way, but here's what it is. You walk into a place, and the place feels eerie. Mm-hmm. Everybody's had that feeling, right? Mm-hmm. That's kind of weird. Mm-hmm. Abracadabra. What you do, you can Google a blessing. Any blessing, any religion. Pick your favorite. Pagan blessing, Christian blessing, Muslim blessing. I don't give a fuck. I would say choose one that you like. Indian blessing, nature blessing. Okay? Forget that. You could go into a poem. Google love poem. Poem of peace. Poem of happiness. Those poems are spells. Abracadabra. Mm-hmm. You get into the room the way they would do a water, and you put your intention in the room, and you speak out loud the poem. This place is beautiful. This place is filled with light. This place has positive energy. Anything negative leaves this place. And you speak. And you put your intention in there. And you intend to make it a sacred and safe environment. And you do this until you perceive it, however that is, that it has shifted. Now, what has shifted is for you, it has shifted. We don't know if it's shifted on the outside. We don't even know if an outside actually exists when you really look at like the eye of Ra. I don't know if it is. Because another person will walk into that room and experience nothing. My dad will walk into the room and say, what the fuck are you talking about? It feels weird in here. It feels perfect. Mm. And somebody else will go, oh my God, there's evil spirits in here, right? Who's right? Well, they're both right because they're both experiencing that, right? And what we need to do is have a way where you have control over spaces that are affecting you negatively. So I'll give you an example. Some days back, about 5 days ago from now, 5-6 days ago, one of us had a tumble down the stairs here. The next day, when I was about to walk down the stairs, I stopped at the edge of the stairs in the morning. And I felt negativity. Now, I also recognized that for me, it was a memory. that was triggered. But still, it was a negative feeling for me. And I knew very easily I could have walked right through it. But nobody was around to hear me, and I thought, what a great fucking moment for me to practice what I preach. And I started to speak out loud. And I said something like, this hallway is blessed, it's beautiful, it's clear of any negative energy, it's positive. It feels great to walk up and down these stairs. I walk up to my bedroom, I walk down into the living room, and this is all positive. My house is filled with positivity, no negativity, there's light and there's stairs. And I said it, and it felt better. Now here's what's interesting. Since that day, every single time I walk up and down these stairs, the memory of me chanting that comes up in my mind. Which is a positive memory. Which has replaced a negative memory. So this is one way I use that. Is when you have a negative experience somewhere, you can abracadabra. Start speaking goodness into that area with intention and then declare, emphasize. This is now what it is here. I know enough through Scientology and my other practices to know that you as a spiritual being do have the power to declare it and perceive it. To create and perceive. That is one of your abilities as a spiritual being. Okay? And so this becomes an exercise. This becomes an exercise in that ability. And ask yourself, how many times have you exercised this ability in the last month or two? And you'll see almost none, very little. If you have, it was like lifting up a 2-pound weight and putting it down versus actually working out with this ability. You work, you practice. Like I was telling you this morning, you need to practice these things. You need to build your muscle again. You need to get good at doing these things. Doing it once is not enough. You have to do it again and again. With practice, you get better. It becomes natural. It becomes normal to operate this way. Then you'll catch yourself suddenly speaking into your environments. When you buy a brand new car, you not consciously, unconsciously, you speak into the car. You say, oh my God, this car is so beautiful. Oh my God, I love this car. I love the seats in this car. I love the smell in this car. It drives so good. And you are creating your car. You go down 6 months later, you say something like this, the car is so dirty. It's this, it's that, it needs this, it needs that. And you start creating that into the car. Then you get a car wash and you go, I love my car when it's clean, it's pretty. And you're constantly creating your experience of the car. Or somebody else shows up and you haven't seen your car, really seen it in a while, and they love your car, and they say, I love that, is that your car? And you're like, new eyes. They start creating with their words your car. Now if they kept it to themselves, watch this, you wouldn't know. They walked up, they were like, and they thought, wow, that was a great car, but they weren't going to say it. That's very different than if they said, wow, your car is so beautiful. I've always loved this car. My God, is it a Mercedes? I love Mercedes. Is it a Range Rover? Is it a Lexus? I've always wanted one of these cars. Now they are speaking it, and it's starting to become more real. And that's the difference between thinking and speaking. You see that?
Yeah.
So speaking actually does something that non-speaking doesn't do. Abracadabra is, I create what I speak, not I create what I think. It's totally different. And why is speech important? Well, I mean, there's many reasons that I can tell you, but the one we're going to take up right now is the idea that it's a vibration, sound vibration. You're looking tired over there.
My body doesn't feel well, but I'm okay.
Hurry up, Jess.
Sorry.
Okay. So what I want you to practice to see the effect is speaking out loud. Now here's one that I do every single morning when I get in the cold shower, right? I'm at 5 minutes of cold shower now. Straight, like meaning that it's not warm then cold. I do walk right into the cold shower, right?
Wow.
And my goal is 10 minutes. So I speak out loud. And it makes a difference than thinking out to yourself. You can think whatever you want, but you start saying it, your mind shifts differently.
Yeah.
It gets distracted with your own voice versus thinking it. If you think to yourself, I'm brave, I'm strong, I'm not afraid, that's one. If you say out loud, I'm brave, I'm strong, I'm not afraid as you walk into a dark area or whatever. Second one, you do better. Isn't that amazing? Look at what you're learning right now. You've been thinking, why is it sometimes I can't seem to change my mind? Because you're using a thought to override another thought,
Yeah.
but this time you're going to use a thought plus sound waves to override just another thought. So one thought doesn't have voice behind it, it's a voice in the head. The second thought is the voice in the head plus the voice in the mouth, so it's stronger, it's now beating the other thought. That's why affirmations can work if you say them out loud. And if you study any affirmations or anybody who knows about them, they will tell you out loud. You know what a mantra is? A mantra is supposed to be done out loud.
Yeah.
When they give you a mantra to practice, it's out loud. You chant out loud. You pray out loud. People go pray inside. It's not the same. If you get into a place of worship, whether it's a temple in the Buddhist temple, a beautiful church, a beautiful mosque, even a place in nature that they've said this is where we worship, right? And if you start to think to yourself a certain prayer, then if you had a different experience where you went into the same location and you spoke out loud the same prayer, the second one would give you goosebumps being in that place. Have you ever experienced anything like that? You could see it. Why? This is what you need to analyze. Because it's abracadabra. I create what I speak. And so you haven't been using your voice to create. You've been trying to think it into existence. You need to think it, then speak it.
Nice.
In the beginning, there was what?
The word.
The Word. And the Word was?
God.
With God.
I didn't know what you were talking about at first.
I just wanted to see if anybody could throw it out there. That's what I was thinking about. This is the Bible. Now I could go on with different holy books. And you'll see that the sound of your voice is very important. We recognize each other from the sound of our voice. Do you know how strange it would be if one of us had a different voice tomorrow?
Like me?
No, not like that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? If
Yeah.
one of us had a different voice.
Yeah.
Now, if it was a totally different voice. Now, imagine how this would be. The same person, not slightly different. I want you to grab somebody else's voice you know and put it in a person you know, and they just spoke like that. You would be freaked out. You actually wouldn't know if it was them for a while.
Yeah.
Just simply by the sound of their voice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you thought how intimate that is to you?
Wow.
Yeah, well, I was right.
It's like your fingerprint, but like your like. voice.
Well, it is your fingerprint in the sound wave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's different frequencies in the world. So in the sound frequency, we recognize each other through our voice, right? And so if I'm going to walk into a room and my dog is barking and can't see me because it's dark and I don't want to get bit, I'm going to speak into the dark room.
Yeah.
Hey boy, it's me, blah, blah, blah. And then the dog's tail will wag because the dog recognizes your voice.
Yeah.
If you're in a dark room and if someone doesn't know you're in the house and they have gutters and they go, it's me, right? When you call somebody, you pick up, you go, it's me, what are you doing? You are abracadabra. Think about it, because this is the difference between the way I look at the world and everybody else does. I'm showing you that you are constantly using your voice to declare, I am me. And especially in moments that you think you might be in danger, that someone may not recognize you, it is I, it's me. Recognize me, you hear me? Hey guys, it's me. Then, where is everybody? No sound. Where is everybody? Is everybody here? No sound. Then you hear a sound. Safety. You're lost. Yelling out to everyone, no sound, then sound. You're lost, yelling out to everyone, you see them. They're looking at you, but they don't talk. Your friends. Imagine how freaky that would be in the forest, right?
Yeah.
And you're like, oh God, I'm so happy to see you. And they just look at you.
Yeah.
And you're like, what's going on? And they just walk with you. They live with you the way you did, but they don't make a sound. What are you waiting for in that moment? Even if they were like this. After about a minute, you'd be like, say something.
doing it for a minute.
Looked like you're masturbating under there. Yeah, that's what it
Oh.
looked like. Yeah. Did that again. See what that looked like. Yeah.
No.
Okay, that wasn't it.
Yeah.
Are you sure? I was.
Yeah.
Thought you were like okay. All right.
It's bad.
Do you see how important it becomes to say, my voice exists in the universe?
Yeah.
I'm giving you so many examples that I'm sure people haven't looked at. You're in the shower. Boom, boom. Who's there? No sound. Then boom, boom. Who's someone there? No sound. What's happening to you?
Panic.
Exactly. Who's there? It's just me. Safety.
Yeah.
Who's there? A voice you don't recognize. Me. Another form of panic. Hannah? Arash? No, me. Whoa, who's that? Are you getting it? Are you listening? You get it?
Yeah.
So, we're going to get into the tone in another video. Because it's important. This video is this. How do you make something sacred? Right, we got a little bit deeper into it, but how do I use this? Watch this. Watch this. Here we go. Now, you're about to get the fucking... Here's what you need. Think of an activity that you do that you make money from. Something that people pay you for. Everybody got something?
Yeah.
Cover your mouth.
Sorry.
Got something?
Totally.
As a thought exercise, think of something you do an activity. What would happen if you declared that activity as a sacred activity for yourself? How would you approach it? You know, a priest goes up and we hope or we think that what he does in his mind is a sacred activity. You get that? And so there's a sense of reverence or awe or respect when we watch him move, if he does it right. Do you know sometimes you will see a singer approach the mic and approach their song like it's sacred to them?
Yeah.
And it affects everybody.
Yeah, totally.
And you've also seen singers who are extremely skilled at singing, who will sing a song beautifully, but it looks like the song is not sacred to them. And it's totally different. And sometimes the singer is not even as skilled as the other one, but as they sing, they have this connection to their song that you feel, and it brings tears or emotions as you watch them sing it. That person has declared that song as a sacred song for themselves.
Yeah.
You see the difference?
Yeah.
They have connected. Now, the song is a song, just words. But what's happening internally is they are presenting you with something sacred. So there was a story that I read in Los Angeles when I used to live there that moved me tremendously. Okay, tremendously. And you've heard me say it a few times because it's one of my most favorite stories I've ever read. Okay, it's about the flute player. Do you know the flute player story? You're saying yes, you're saying no. I'm fascinated how this could be. Which one is it?
I just remember a flute player saying. I do.
What is it?
I don't know, but I remember it.
Okay.
Did you hear that?
No. But the dogs didn't hear it. See, they're on my radar. So, in ancient times, the king heard of a flute player. That was the best this man was supposed to be magnificent at what he did. And the king loved music. So he sent for him. They brought the flute player in, and the king called a huge party to hear this music. So the king stops the party at some point, brings up the flute player, and says, "Is it true that you are as good as they say you are?" He says, "Yes, I'm very good." He says, "Would you honor us with a song?" He says, "Of course." So he starts playing this flute, and everybody's just eyes closed, and the king is sitting there, and he's in heaven, And he finishes, and the king, stands up and claps for him and says, "That is the most magnificent piece I've ever heard. You must truly be the greatest flute player that has ever lived." And the guy says, "Thank you. I accept it. I accept the compliment. However, it's not true. I am very good, but there is somebody who's even better than me." You know the story now?
Yeah.
There's somebody who's even better than me. And the king says, "Impossible. I can't even imagine. Who's that? He goes, well, it's my teacher. He says, well, let's bring your teacher then, if he's that good. He says, well, there's going to be a problem. My teacher, he doesn't play for anybody. He says, what do you mean? He says, well, he doesn't. He lives in the mountains, and he won't go anywhere. He lives in this little hut in the forest. But the king says, I have to hear him. I can't imagine anything better than you. He says, well, Your Majesty, if we're going to hear him, then we have to go to where he is. He's, it's even hard to find him sometimes. So the king says, we're going to do this. So he takes a bunch of troops. Next day they set off. And the guy says, well, we're going to have to camp out where the guy's hut is, and he can't hear us. So the king is so intrigued by this whole thing. They go over there, they see the hut, they camp out. First night, nothing happens. The king thinks the guy is fucking with him. And he's like, well, what's going on? I said, no, sir, it's true, And then they see the guy walk out. This old man walks out, puts a little fire, walks back in. He says, that's my teacher, that's my master. And the king says, where's he going to play? He said, yeah, he's going to play, but we're going to have to wait until he does. And then one morning around 5:30 a.m., when the sun was rising, the door opens, the guy wakes up the king, all the troops wake up, and this man walks out, and as the sun is rising, sits on a rock, takes out a flute, and starts playing this flute. Within moments, all the troops, the king, everybody's in tears. And they're just crying. They can't stop this, as this man is playing the most exquisite music anybody's ever heard. And as suddenly as he starts, he suddenly stops. Puts it back in and goes back into his hut. And the king looks at the guy and says, what was that? How? I mean, I heard you play and you were perfect. What did that man do that you can't do? I said, well, sir, the difference is that I play, and I'm very good technically, and I play and people pay me for it. And I play for an audience to pay me. But my master, who taught me, only plays the flute when he is moved in the moment to express his gratitude for life. And his flute playing is an expression of how he feels in that moment, and he never plays the flute any other time. And it doesn't matter who's there, who's not there. The flute is an extension of his expression. For my master, the flute is sacred. For me, it's an instrument to make money. End of story.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Cool.
Very cool. Now, Manu would always say to me, and to some of his other students, when you act as an actor, because Manu taught acting, and it's one of my favorite sentences he ever said to me. He goes, when you act, I want to see you alone with your God.
That's dead.
I'm here to watch you alone interact with your God. Right? So now, take the activity, and you also, that you make money in. And I want you to do this mental exercise. You think I'm going to tell you what I'm going to tell you, but I'm not. So listen carefully. Don't jump ahead. First thing I want you to do is I want you to imagine you are technically perfect. And everybody comes to you. Imagine what it feels like for the world to be like, she is, okay, or he is perfect at sales, at training, at martial arts, at music, at movie making, whatever it is you do. Acting, what?
At life.
That's me. Imagine what it feels like. Just get that feeling. And you're making money and you're doing fantastic. You're great, right? You're great. And your clients, think of your clients really looking up to you. And then I want you to imagine someone opened a business right next door to you. The same business as you. Exactly the same business as you. They're in the same business as you. And you heard and you saw the person approach what you do as if they were doing a sacred activity. Imagine what that feels like when you watch them. What emotion you would get if you saw somebody do what you do and approach it with the most reverence. Reverence is a high level of respect. Reverence for their activity. So if you teach yoga, you had perfect yoga, and then you saw somebody else walk up and approach it, as Manu would say, as if they were with their God. If you teach fitness, same thing. They approached it as if they were in communion with their God, and this was a sacred activity for them. Would you not feel less, even though you're technically perfect? Would you not feel like you're missing something when you look at them? And can you see that your students at some point would be, or your clients would be so fascinated by that person?
Yeah, like even if you had passion for it, it's not the same.
It's not the same. Why? So this is what we're doing in this video. First video. You can declare your activity as sacred by speaking into it, the way someone does a holy water. What do you speak into it? Anything that's in your mind that makes it sacred. Then there's an approach that's missed on a subject. An Olympic swimmer approaches the water before the match very differently than I do when I step up into the pool. He approaches that moment like Whitney Houston's One Moment in Time. Do you get it? Same pool, same activity, totally different reverence for it. You get what I'm saying, right? And a samurai will grab a samurai sword as if his soul is in it.
Whoa, yeah.
And somebody else will grab it like it's a beautiful piece of steel. But watch a samurai hold a sword, and if you're holding a sword, you're going to want to put it down. If you're holding a samurai sword, and a real samurai shows up with a samurai sword, and you see him look at you with the sword, and then grab his sword, and the way he puts it down, I guarantee you're going to want to put your sword down really quickly because you feel disrespectful, even though it's your sword. Look at the power that one possesses when they take an activity and they say, this is my soul, I am committed to this thing. Nobody and nothing is more important than what I do. Now you are guaranteed ultimate level of success, like that flute player.
Cool.
Nobody can touch you. But you have to make it sacred. That's why we started with the holy water.
Yeah.
Nice.
You understand?
Totally.
Yeah.
Now there's one more thing to make something sacred. You connect that thing like the water, like the space, like the sword. You connect it to something bigger than it. You pray into the water for higher power and for light and for guidance and for truth, into the space, into the sword. It's the soul of the samurai. It's not just a piece of steel. The flute becomes an expression of the divine. Do you get that?
Yeah.
It's nice. Verbiage.
Yes. Now watch this. Because you're about to get an arash motherfucking dibazar secret. Better not say it outside this video. Okay. To me, the act of communication and my own mind, I approach these two subjects like they are sacred. So when people watch me communicate, if I'm doing a lecture, or if I'm going to seduce, see, seduction to me is just communication with the mind put together. It's both. That's it. That's what seduction is. There's nothing else. It's to wrap somebody's mind with your words. When they watch me do what I do, it has a quality that nobody else can touch. So yes, there are other pickup and seduction artists. Yes, there are other speakers that are great speakers that I watch too. But I know that nobody can do what I can do, because I know they don't hold the same reverence, respect, and sacredness for this. For me, I feel I hold in my hand the secrets of the gods. When I say I've stolen the secret of the gods, for what I have done, I shall never be forgiven. But because of what I've done, the gods will be begging forgiveness from me. With what I have gained, I wander freely in all the 10,000 universes without bowing my head to anyone. That to me is communication and the mind. If I can control my mind and use my communication to control other people's minds, I don't need to bow my head to any entity. I don't need to. It's not going to happen. And so the subject that you hold in your heart as sacred, you will become magnificent in it. And that differentiates you between everybody else. Ultimately, you want your life to be sacred. If you could approach your livingness, it's going to be difficult to do every moment, but if you just keep this in mind, if you could approach your livingness as if you are living a sacred life, then you now are blessing your own life. And evil spirits won't enter, because they cannot enter sacred places.
Yeah.
So if my mind is declared sacred, then my mind is not entered. And I have dealt with demons, and I do deal with demons, but I am totally okay. Because in the end, nobody fucks with my mind. And everyone who knows me knows this about me. That is the one space that I have total freedom to do what I want to do and no one touches it. That's my advantage over the entire world. Are you with me?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to hear from you now, so take a moment.
Nice.
That's good, Arash.
Thank you, Jess. Does this email belong to your GF? I messaged this email twice asking who that person is.
Yeah.
It's not in my register. Your GF messaged me saying that she requested 3 times access Prometheus. Matches the amount. So, yes.
Yeah.
What's your email they're using?
Hannah Fitness X. Well, there's two. The one I just requested from is Hannah Fitness X.
No, this is not it.
Hannah.
This is arashjimc@gmail.
My Gmail. That one I requested from.
Is that you? All I need to know is that's
It's
you.
me. But it's connected to Hannah Fitness X.
I only have 3 emails from her for Google Drive.
Yeah. That's the third one.
Honey,
That's
why
me.
You have no name and email.
Why you have Arash's name on email? Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. All right, Jess. Let me hear you.
Okay. This is me. Just kidding.
What?
I was like, okay, this is me. You said, let me hear you.
Oh, yeah.
So you used a, I don't want to say concept, but you said, act as if you're perfect in what you do. Someone opens a place right next to you, the same exact place, but they open it and their presentation of it is sacred, and
Yes.
how they think of it is sacred.
Yes.
And that hit me because when I think about certain things that I do, and I know I have, like when I have passion for something, it shows in a different way. But like I'm sacred with my writings, and how I write sometimes is, I don't know. It's just if someone reads it, they would have that effect that I'm feeling.
Yeah, you're a great writer.
Yeah. So if I use that sacredness that I have in that towards training a person, then they would have that feel. Because sometimes I'm just like, how do they not feel this? Like it's like a conflict because I have passion for it, but I'm not.
It's a little bit above passion, right?
Yeah.
Passion people can have. Sacredness is when you're with your God.
And passion is, I don't know. Passion is different than like than having like.
Why don't you use the word sacredness? Why are you stopping yourself from saying it?
I don't know.
You are, right? I keep catching you censor it. So say it.
So then passion is different than having sacredness because
Yeah.
that's something that like I don't know how to really explain it, but just when I heard that someone else having a sacredness and how they approach it, I see like just fire on the ground and
Nice.
just like walking in with just like fire and having that like feel and that energy, and that's completely different than having passion for something. And it made me realize, and I always realize this, and it really bothers me because then I'll fix it and I'll go back.
No, I know that.
With I'm too, I don't want to say playful, and I don't want to say too fun.
I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
I know what you're saying. Now, I want to read sacred so you guys get something and see how I use it. Number 1, devoted or dedicated to a deity or to some religious purpose. 2, that doesn't make sense. Yeah. 3, pertaining to or connected with religion, like sacred music or sacred books. 4, reverently, like with respect, dedicated to some person, purpose, or object. A morning hour sacred to study. You get it?
Yeah.
5, regarded with reverence as sacred memory of a dead hero. So there's a sense of, that's why I said there's a sense of reverence, there's a sense of high respect, right? Like when I teach jiu-jitsu, I teach it with a reverence to Batara. And people can feel it.
Yeah.
I have a very high level of respect for what he's taught me and his jiu-jitsu and what I've done to earn it. So when I teach it, it comes across, there's a sense of passion and goes, but it's like, no. People get my connection to this. It's here it is. It's bigger than me.
Yeah. Totally.
My jiu-jitsu is bigger than me, so people connect to it somehow that others don't.
Yeah.
And when I teach about certain things, I connect it to Manu.
Yeah.
You get it?
Yeah.
Even to my dad. There's always about me something.
Yeah.
Or gods, or bigger things. My life is a sacred life because it has a respect for something much bigger. So even I could be a millionaire, I could be getting women, I could have everything I have, but there's a sacredness about me that's not fluffy. It's not fluff. $1 million in my hand is a sacred $1 million, right? My women are sacred. It's different. They're not hoes. Why? What the fuck is going on here? Because it's never about the pussy, it's never about the money, it's never about the cars. It's always a pointer to something bigger is going on. So people react to me in that way. And people that know me closest know that about me. Like I said a couple nights ago, whatever, in that live lecture, I said, I'm actually very religious and people don't know. You get it? I said, that's just not your religion that you think it is. But I'm very religious because I approach life like a mystic, like a religious man. I approach my dogs. I have a sacredness with my dogs, the way I treat my dogs. It's not about dog training. It's about the way I see them. I have a tremendous level of respect for a pit bull. And everybody sees it. I have a tremendous amount of reverence for a gun. Notice how I approach things. Even my tattoos, I approach them like they're about something bigger, because they are.
Yeah.
So that's what I want to clear up for you, is you connected to something bigger. You are part of something bigger. And I've always told you guys, I said, as my girlfriends, all you have to do is connect it to me. It's my job to be the biggest I can be in the world. So if you're teaching for me, that's what you represent, is me. And watch me represent what I represent to the world. And I keep doing it. That's my job. See, a woman gets confused. She's about this, she's about that. I don't want my girlfriend to be about Shiva or that fucking deity or Christ. About me. My job is to cut through this world and demonstrate my power. Did you have a thought there? You want to do the voice? Okay. So, do you get what I'm saying? So if someone opens next door, they would just be about something bigger.
Yeah.
Like they have a purpose for changing women's bodies. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They're not just trying to make them look beautiful. It's like, I'm here, I could be anywhere doing anything, and I'm here doing this.
Yeah. Like a person doing something, not caring about the money. Like.
You're going to get your money, you're going to get your due, right?
Yeah,
Don't be a beggar.
But not thinking with money. How. Like, you're not thinking. Like,
You're not doing
money.
it for the money, right?
Yeah.
The money is the exchange that has to come. I'm telling you that because that could get you poor if you get in that idea, right?
But even the exchange should be. Well, what I was thinking is even the exchange should be like the sacredness of the teachings you're giving. Like.
No, the exchange.
Oh, no. The exchange is like you're doing something that. Well, yes, the money, but also it's not like work.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, so example, right? You'll see me make a lot of money. You see how I am with money. I love money. It's my favorite fucking subject in the world, probably. But at the same time, you'll see me go, get rid of that motherfucker.
Yeah.
I don't want the money.
Yeah.
So it's not about the money in that case.
Yeah.
I get my exchange in a bigger way.
Yeah.
But remember that because if you go the wrong way, you'll go poor.
Yes.
And you can't be poor, right? So you work for money. You ask for the exchange, but since you're working for something much bigger than that, you can set, like I can say, IMC's done. Shut the doors. I'm okay. Why? Because it's not about that.
Yeah.
It's about what I'm doing, and I'll create it again. See, that's how I have the confidence that I have.
Yeah.
It's never, so I never compromise for money.
Yeah.
Right, that's it. Yeah. Okay, good. Okay, very good. Anything else?
No.
Okay, bam. Okay, Electra.
So, really interesting because
You need to speak up because your voice is not loud enough right now.
okay, you know your morning messages that you write on
Yeah.
Facebook,
Yeah.
right? So I read them at the end of class,
Yeah.
and like, you know, and I think powerful thoughts during the day.
Yeah.
But I have been noticing recently, like as I read it,
Yeah.
right, it does something.
Yeah.
And then I say every day, like every day I say it now, that every day in every way, it's getting better and
Yes.
better.
Yes.
right?
Yes. Yes. That's
And
a
I
chance.
say it at the end of class
Yes.
a few times,
Yes.
right? And by the end, like by the fifth time, it's like each time I'm like, yeah, like
It
whoa,
is getting better and better.
really is.
Yeah, I know.
Like, whoa, my life is really, it's really happening, you
Yeah.
know? But I've done it mentally before, and it hasn't had the same effect.
No, you gotta say it out loud.
Totally. So, just like that contrast and comparison, you know?
See, I stopped doing my morning messages because I don't think people appreciate them enough. But when I hear that, and then I get messages from people that have said to me, you know, my life has changed since these fucking messages, then it makes me want to do it.
Yeah.
But see, the problem is people don't voice it. So I
Yeah.
stopped doing it for a whole week, right? So I'm like, pfft, I want to see somebody else write a fucking message that does that.
I know.
Every fucking day. And make it be different. You know what I mean? A paragraph, not like 2 sentences, right?
Yeah.
I have to be in a certain state of mind to be able to put these words together, make them flow, and make them hit. And how many people have said to me when I send it to them, wow, this is exactly what I needed
I
today.
get that all the time when I
It hits right in the fucking frequency
Yeah.
that day for people for whatever fucking reason.
Totally.
So if you guys are getting these positive responses, tell me.
Yeah.
Because I want to do them, but I don't want to do them if they're like, see, there's no exchange. So fuck you guys. I'll do
Yeah.
it for myself.
No, because I read it, I get so many messages saying, you know how you read Arash's thing at the end? Like,
Yeah.
that is like
Well, you got to tell me.
totally
You
changed
got to
my
tell me.
life. Yeah.
So I'll do it tomorrow.
So that part's really cool. And then, you know, I've always had a very high level of desire to create art, you know?
Yeah.
You know this about me. And I know that, like artists that have really, like, moved me
Yeah.
are have this ingredient of it.
Yes,
being
that's
sacred,
right.
you know?
That's right. They do.
Completely. So it's really cool to like kind of really focus in on it because I know that will make a big difference.
Yes. You guys approach your look much more sacred than other women do.
Yeah.
So they judge it based on superficiality. Why do you're beautiful without that, but they don't get
Right.
that it's not about that.
Totally.
It's about the state of mind. It's about presenting yourself right. It's about knowing how to treat your fucking man. It's about being a role model. You get the difference?
Yeah.
But then, no matter what they have said, we're changing the world. And that's what I learned from Manu. No! No, Totem. You just keep going in that direction.
Yeah.
And the little chihuahuas will bite at your heel, but it doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
Because the purpose is so big. Nobody can stop a big purpose, okay?
Yeah.
Okay, anything else? Okay, Hannah?
Well, I'm so moved. I don't know. That's
Good.
like,
These abracadabra lectures, that's what I decided. I was going to move everybody in these lectures. I was going to give goosebumps in every one of them. Watch.
yeah.
I'm going to do it.
I mean, I'm so moved, but in to clear, like say that more precise. I'm moved and connected to like a place or frequency that I do my best at.
Yes.
And, for some reason, I see, not that I just haven't consciously created newly in it.
Right.
And I feel that happening just like from listening, you know, from the beginning until the end, all of you speaking, all of these realizations that kind of ran through. And then like I feel like I'm just like, you know how you say when you're connected to like a chi line?
Mm-hmm.
Like it reminds me of that, the
Mhm.
way that like
Mm-hmm.
the way that you spoke moved me to something that I had been missing.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, end of lecture 1. Okay, welcome to lecture 2 of Abracadabra. I create what I speak. And the first thing we just do an exercise. It's an exercise I learned a long time ago. I may have been 19 maybe. Okay? But let's try it. And you're going to do the same thing, okay? Some of you have done this before. You're going to look around the room and... let me see first. You're going to look around the room and find anything, wherever you are. Look around the room and find anything that is black. Note some things that are black. Look around you. A few more things. Look around wherever you are. If you're driving, don't do this. It's funny they say that. Like, okay, you don't have to tell me that. Don't close your eyes for driving. Thank you. Obviously. Find some stuff that's black. Yeah? You? Some stuff that's black. Okay, now do this. Okay? Go ahead and close your eyes. Okay? And think about the room. And I want you now to remember all the things that were red. See what you remember. Red. Close your eyes, Hannah. Okay, open your eyes. Look around the room, find something red now. Find the red stuff now. Keep looking. Find some more red things. See if you can find some more red things. Find some red things? Okay. Yeah? Okay, good. Maybe a few more red things. See if there's any more red things. Look around. Really look around you. Bet you there's something you haven't found yet. Find something else? Something else? Find something else or no? No? Look around till you find something else. Did you find something else yet? Look around till you find something else.
I found it.
You found it? Good. Look around till you find something else. You haven't seen everything that's red, guaranteed. Find it yet? Keep looking. Get up, move around, find red.
Well, if I move around, I'm gonna find it.
Yeah, well, just like right there. Start spinning your head until you find it.
No.
Keep looking. But, and it's there.
Okay, well, I can't find anything else that's red.
Okay, we'll keep looking.
Okay. Well, nothing's changed.
What do you mean?
It's all the same stuff.
Oh, I see. Well, keep looking. Maybe there's detail somewhere. Did you look at the button right there?
Yes, and your tattoos.
How about
and your
Good.
shirt.
tattoos?
Yeah, she did one
The wine.
tattoo, my shirt,
Yeah,
the
water
wine,
jugs.
water
Lipstick.
jug.
Yeah, and then the CD, whatever that red thing is
Good.
up there, that paper bag, the
Good,
rope, and that
good.
bag.
Good. Is that all the red in the room, guys?
Yeah,
There's
his
a cup
shirt.
in the kitchen, but you can
There's a
only
what?
see
You
it from
can't
the
see it.
Yeah.
Just gotta see what you can see.
His shirt. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You got that too?
Mm-hmm.
I missed that one. Anything else?
Okay.
Did I pick a color that's not very visible? Okay, good. But that's fine then. You got the wine?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, did this happen to any of you? Did you start looking at colors and go, that's kind of red, that could be considered red? Did anybody's mind do that? Yours did that? Your mind did that? No? So were there all the same shades of red that you were finding?
Mm-mm.
But you know, because that wine was red, that's red, my tattoos are red, that's red.
The
You-
wine's purple.
The wine's purple, you say. Did any of you think it's kind of orangish, but it's red?
Not orange, but
Or
I
what-
thought,
what did you
like,
think?
Pink. I was like, that's kind of like pinkish red.
Pinkish red. Okay? You start to look around, you start to look at something and go, I wonder if that's red. That could be red. Maybe. You start to kind of try to make it red in your head at all? A little bit, yeah? Did you do that? Did you do that or you didn't do that?
No.
You didn't do that. And then when you were looking for stuff that was black, okay, it was easy to find. And then you close your eyes, and then when the first time you closed your eyes, you were looking for red, were you able to see all the red stuff that you saw?
No, but I saw some of them.
Some of them, but not all of them. But then you started seeing all the red. Yet everything was there, right? Okay, good. Have you ever experienced wanting to buy a car and then suddenly you start seeing that car everywhere?
Totally.
Prior to that, it's not that visible. Then you start seeing that car all over the place.
Yeah.
Okay, then you start seeing it on TV, you start seeing it when you're driving. Suddenly it seems like one of your friends ends up having the fucking car. So the fucking car appears every fucking place that you go, right? Even when you buy a car, it's like that sometimes. You start noticing your own car, other people driving it. That happens a lot, right?
Yeah.
And prior to that, it seemed like it wasn't really there,
Yeah.
but it's there. So, what is this thing that's taking place? Your mind is constantly looking around and observing and recording the environment. Always. Right now, it's doing this, right? But there's so much information that your mind, to not get overwhelmed, to not overwhelm your senses, it needs to delete over 99% of what's there and only taking about 1%. And it has to decide what that 1% is going to be.
Yeah.
So we have to figure out how it decides that. How do you think it normally decides that? Any ideas?
I mean, I just know, like, from my experience of it, like, information that I need is normally what...
Right, information that you need. How do you decide it's information that you need? What is that based on?
Based off of... Well, I don't know if people are basing things off of survival, but I thought about
They are. That's the answer.
Yeah.
Everybody, whether they know it or not, if something affects your survival, that gets filtered into the mind. So right now, whatever you're hearing is fine, and then if there's like a loud bomb sound that goes on outside, all of our senses will tune everything out and go right into that. Can you see how that would be?
Yeah.
Because in that case, that would be the most survival,
Right.
meaning like our survival is most affected by that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you go into a place and there's a lot of people, and then a person walks in that's kind of being super loud or super shady,
Yeah.
and then suddenly all your attention goes there because that person is going to be affecting your survival the most. And so our mind, since there's so much being recorded all the time, so many sounds, sensations, the way you sit, the breathing, all that other stuff, it has to decide where your conscious awareness is going to go. So you don't get overwhelmed.
Yeah.
And the way that it decides is it decides by what's affecting your survival the most in that moment. Now, most of the time, like earlier when we were sitting down, the attention is just kind of roaming around. It's not really being here or there. It's just kind of like scanning the environment because nothing out of the ordinary is happening. Nothing major is taking place. So it's just kind of doing this. Now, when it's doing that, I call that your mind is drifting. When your mind is drifting, okay, it needs... No. When your mind is drifting, then anybody could come in and give it direction. Because it's not finding anything more valuable than anything else. It's just kind of doing elevator background music. You with me?
Yeah.
Okay, good. And so the exercise we did when you're looking for something black or you're looking for something red, is you take that roaming attention and you say, now I want to focus on this color.
Yeah.
Okay? All right, now watch this. Abracadabra. People will say things like this: I always have bad luck. Okay? I always have bad luck. And so then as they go through their day, or they go through their lives, their mind will look for any kind of coincidence, things that happen, that prove that they have bad luck. Some people say, I'm really lucky. Or today's my lucky day. I'm always lucky on the 12th or 13th or 15th. And then their mind filters things that don't match that reality. Your mind is looking for things that affect your survival. When nothing major is happening, your mind just roams. So it needs direction. So a person will say, I'm clumsy. Okay? Then every little thing that happens, they stumble going up and down the stairs or walking on the street or something, their mind goes, you see, there you are, you're clumsy. Somebody else says, I have reflexes like a cat. Okay? And they stumble up and down the stairs and their mind goes, you caught yourself. Because you're like a fucking cat. The same stumble gets interpreted two totally different ways, two totally different realities, based on the filter that's put into the mind. Two people stumble down the stairs and they catch themselves. One person's filter has been, I'm always clumsy. I don't know why I'm always so clumsy. And that happens and they go, well, there you go. I'm always clumsy. That's why I do this. Like I expect. The other person's filter is, I move like a cat. I'm always landing on my feet. And they do this and they become proud. They're like, I caught myself again. See, I didn't fall? Somebody else would have fallen. Well, that's so funny.
They haven't do that.
You do the second one? Yeah? Good. This is what will equal confidence or lack of confidence. A lot of it is the interpretation that you've given your mind to look for. So a person will go to a psychic and the person believes in the psychic. Okay? It takes that belief. We'll go into that later on in abracadabra. And the psychic says, within the next 2 or 3 days, or the next 7 days, look for some signs. Something very good is going to be happening. I see it in the cards, in the crystal ball, in the candle, wherever the fuck it is. And the person believes them and takes on that filter and they start walking outside. Now, some little thing like they find parking when it was packed is a sign. Oh, the psychic said that. That's exactly what's going on. Any little coincidence will amplify into the truth. The psychic says...
Because they're looking for it.
Exactly, like you're looking for red. Normally, you guys didn't answer it the same way that everybody else does, but normally you look at red, and you kind of did, and you take a pink thing and go, that could kind of be red. Now, if I said to you, if you find 6 red things in this room and you get $1 million and it was a real $1 million there, and you only found 5, and I said you have 1 more minute left, otherwise the $1 million goes to your enemy. At that moment, your mind would try to make something red. Your skin tone is a little red. Does that count? You have blotches. It would then seek to find red. And even if it wasn't red, it would really start to go red. But at that moment, it would have to be something that is really affecting your survival. So the $1 million, then if you don't get it, it goes to your enemy. That whole thing will really affect you, right? So the person goes to the psychic, and the psychic says, this is this card, that card, and be careful when you go out because in the next 7 days I see something bad could be happening, so be very careful. Okay? Person goes out, a tiny little thing. Right? They forget their keys. They lock the door wrong. Who knows? Their dog shits in the wrong side of the fucking street, right? The person goes, that's what's going on. Something bad is happening here. It's what the psychic said. Are you with me?
Yeah.
Right? So you have to ask yourself, okay, so once we have somebody who does, it becomes important to find something red. Your mind will start looking for it. So the psychic creates a moment with the person, it becomes important to them. If it wasn't important, they wouldn't go to the psychic.
Yeah.
So now they go take relationship advice. And the psychic says, well, I don't trust your boyfriend, husband, girlfriend, wife. You're going to see in the next week or so, blah, blah, blah. Now the person, no matter what the person does, is off. Anything. If the person even comes back and is very nice to their mate, the person will go, why are they so nice? I wonder if they're doing something.
Yeah.
If the person's mean, there it is. It doesn't matter. Person comes home earlier instead of stay later, the person will be like, why did you come home earlier? There's nothing that the person can do once the other person's mind begins to search for that thing. See the difference? See the difference? Now you're doing it right. That's the first sound that's come out so far.
Oh.
Difference. Yeah, there. Now it's there. Now teeth are showing. There it is. Okay.
Hey.
Okay, you get it? Look, watch this.
Stop it.
Okay. All right. Your mind, once it's made up to look for something, the more you believe that thing, the more whatever happens, it will interpret as that. Now, once that gets tied into survival at a young age, you're in trouble.
That's fucked up.
Okay, let me explain. This might even be familiar to some people you may have known. Is at some point as a child, I am in a position where spirits, ghosts, demons, and things like that become very important as a child, right? Because they're either saving me or harming me. It's a survival thing. Moving forward, every sound that's not created by me, you, or you is that. Every sound, got it? Will be interpreted as that. And the person will go looking for it. Every incident that's physically not visible what happened, there's many causes that could be something, right? Will be that. Okay? The opposite is true. Somebody like my father. Where survival at a young age, to survive at 13 years old, where his mother died at 7, his dad died at 13, and he had to work graveyard shift at 13 years old in a oil company as a child, sleep outside and things like that, couldn't or shouldn't believe that there are any kind of spirits that could harm him. For that man, the story that he told me, he went to the bathroom one night when he was working there, and there was these stalls and there was nobody there, and he went to open the door and the door slammed on him, like someone pushed the door back on him. And he said, "Oh, sorry, I didn't know there was anybody in there," and he waited. No sound, no nothing. And then, oh, maybe it was the wind. He went, boom, the door slams back on him. So he looks down, and there's no feet. And he knocks, and he goes, "Somebody in there?" No sound. So he starts to push, the door starts to open, the door starts coming back. He's pushing, and the door's pushing back on him. He's like, somebody was pushing back. And then he backs up, and he kicks the door. And the door, boom, opens. And you know what then he does? He goes and pees, and goes back. Because I asked him, "You never had any experiences that you couldn't explain?" Well, outside of me, he's had experiences with me as a child. I said, "Oh, I had that." I said, "So then what was that if it wasn't a ghost?" He goes, "I don't know what it was."
I remember him saying that.
He goes, "But it wasn't a ghost." So his mind will delete anything because it just is not, that's just not what it is. And someone who's been brainwashed into Christianity, anything that happens that fits a certain thing is the devil. So no responsibility on somebody doing something wrong. It's always the devil doing it, right? Any bad thought is the devil. Any bad luck is anything the person doesn't do it, it's the devil. And anything good is Christ. No matter what. They can't see any other cause outside of that. So your mind learns to look for cause, point, based on what it's been fed. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We're doing abracadabra, so let's get a little bit more advanced now. This is the basics. Now let's get into the advanced. This is one of the ways. It's not the only way. I keep telling everybody, there's levels of magic in the world. Okay? Mm-hmm. And I do have friends, for example, shout out to Frank White, the black magician. I do have friends that practice different levels of sorcery and magic. James Hyman is another guy. He's a shaman. He practices a totally different level of magic, and they're both very good at what they do. So what I'm going to explain to you is my sorcery, my magic, word magic. So in this case, one way it's done is you want to curse somebody. How you get there, I'm not going to get into right now. But once it gets there, then you say something like, in the next 7 days, you're going to see a sign that's going to be ... When you see that, you know the curse has taken place and there's nothing you can do about it. Mm-hmm. The lead up to that is the real magic. But once it's accepted, even slightly in their mind, all you need them to do is to just consider, maybe you're right. At that moment, as they go forward, they're fucked. The more they try to resist it, by trying to resist that, I can't think that, and then something happens, and it comes up in their mind, and they go, no, fuck that, that's not what it is. It's still affecting them because they have to go, no, that's not what it is. So this is one way you curse.
Totally.
And the opposite is true, as I've done it many times on both levels, and you can heal people like that. Okay, you have a session with them. I actually had a session with somebody today. You have a session with them, da 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 da, and then you say, now you'll notice very easily in the next 24 hours or so. A lot of positive things are going to come out, positive emotions. Maybe, watch this, you'll be listening to the radio and a song will come on that you haven't heard in a long time. And that'll be a great sign for you. Or maybe tonight when you sleep, there'll be a dream that will remind you, I don't care what you say. This is the power of suggestion. Abracadabra, I create what I say. Okay? And all you're doing is giving their mind a filter to look through. The moment they accept this filter, they start looking, it becomes that. Now, if you can increase the power of the filter by adding $1 million and giving it to their enemy if they don't get it, that is how you intensify the power. You get it? And different people, as you guys were looking for red, will do different things depending. Again, it all depends. But the mechanism is still the same in that there's so much information happening and your mind needs to look for a cause. That's what it does. We, as humans, always try to find out why things happen. Do you know that's what we try to do all the time? And it's a trap. So you don't see me do that. I either know what happened, the cause, or if I don't, I will not guess. I'm like totally against that. I'll say, doesn't matter, not why, but how to fix it. Because I don't know why. And I know the trap of my mind. That if I start to look for why, and I don't know the exact why, and it could be so many different things, then my mind will suddenly have this filter that's occupying itself and it becomes the important thing. And it's not fucking important why something negative happened. What's important is, how can I fix that thing? That's it. I either have the answer or I don't have the answer. If I don't have the answer, I don't have the time to fucking become an investigator about it right now. I need to fucking go live. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Totally.
It's not why did the pipes break, it's how do you fix the fucking pipes. That's it. It doesn't matter why they broke. They're still broken. Fix the fucking pipes first. Once they're fixed, now you could decide if you want to go find the why. And that's what I do. Whatever situation is there, I ask myself, how is this going to be better? Once it's better and I see it stabilized, now I can choose. I don't always, but I can choose if I think it's going to happen again to go look for the why. And if I can't find it, I let it go again. Because I understand how the mind works. It works in that way that if you give it anything, it tries to find the cause. It's always looking for why was that? What was that sound? What is that sound? Why is that? I wonder why that. How come this? How come that? How come she didn't that? Why do you think she messaged that? How come she didn't pay? How come she didn't show up? Why is that not working? Does anybody know what? Isn't that what you're fucking doing 24 hours a fucking day? So what you got to do is you have to tell your mind, look for this.
Right.
There's a Diamond Mind video that I briefly go over this. So how do you do it? Now we get into the abracadabra. Okay. So you had some realizations. We'll go over that in a little bit, okay? Just briefly. All right. This is a question I am always asking the people around me. How in control of your mind are you right now? I just don't get it. If your hand was flopping around and hitting your face like this, and someone came up and said, what are you doing? You go, what do you mean? Oh, sorry. And then fucking 30 minutes later, it was like, it just kept flopping in your face. That's kind of like what your mind is doing all the time. It doesn't have direction. It's not at rest. Your body could be at rest. Your mind is not at rest. Pay attention to it. It's doing something. I mean, maybe if you're fucking Buddha out or something, but I'm not. So I know my mind is moving. It's in a state of motion all the time. I don't know when it's silent. Right? So if it's moving, how is it moving? Where is it going? What is it doing? And since Nobody at fucking 2 or 3 years old told us, your mind is moving, pay attention. What is it doing right now? It's become ordinary. So we don't think that it's actually doing anything. You don't know that you're thinking all the time about something. But why would you waste your mind on something when it can think anything? That's what I just don't understand about people. It can think anything. It takes a little practice, a little discipline, but once you get it, your mind will think or be on a subject. It's not like I'm thinking, but at least it's on the subject it needs to be on. The filter is there. My mind is looking for red all day. And then I realize I'm looking at blue. And I catch it. I go, oh, something must have knocked off my filter. I got to go back to red. It could be a video you see. It could be a song you hear. Songs are re-stimulative as shit.
Yeah.
Right? So, for example, the song Hello from Adele, right? That song came out during the time when Serena and I broke up. Yep. And just right around that time. And I remember that I didn't want to hear that song.
Yeah.
At that time. But I'm a lot stronger than I've ever been. So now I look for that song. I love hearing that song. Same song, same guy, same situation. Sharper mind. Because now what I look for in the song is something different. It still brings up memories of her and Raquel even, and Felicia, really. These are my ex-girlfriends. And what my mind looks for is that feeling of having these beautiful women that everybody wanted. And while they were with me, I had such incredible control. Their lives were so focused. They were so sharp. And I could see where they're scattered. That's what the song brings up. I admire myself. I go, fuck, that's good. And then I imagine them trying to reach me and say, you know, you've gone on. Yes, I have. I really have. And then there's a little bit of a sadness that still comes with the song. I don't know if it'll go away, but I also like the sadness in the song. Because I don't feel sad throughout my day too much. So now when the song comes on, it has all of these things that I look for in the song. But I'm looking for that in the song. The reason I'm telling you that is sometimes the song will come on and I get sad in a way I don't want to get sad. And I know my mind's been knocked off right before. I go, whoa. So suddenly I'm seeing blue and I go, hold on. And I immediately catch that I've been drifting. Something's off. Because the song shouldn't do that to me.
Yeah.
See, the song is not cause. I am caused. The song cannot determine what I think. The song can trigger thoughts, but I can choose how I think about it. Once I see the thought, now it's up to me to interpret any way I want. Maybe I can't control exactly what thought comes up next. I know I can't. But I can definitely choose what that thought means to me. That part is the major part of this. Because that's actually what we started from.
Yeah.
I was saying that in 100 different ways. This is the teaching. Listen. You can't predict your next thought. You really can't. I've tried many times. Okay, you might be able to catch the next 3 or 4, but once you're living, you don't know where these fucking thoughts come from. But once they arrive, and I see them affect me, I do have 100% choice on how I choose to interpret those thoughts. What do they mean to me? What do I want them to mean? Am I broke, or am I now at a point where any money I make improves my condition financially? Am I physically ill, or do I have now a test of my skills and mental skills, which is what I do? Or Am I now in a position where in 2-3 days, when my body totally heals, I'll have so much energy I won't know what the fuck to do with it, which is another thing I think. The thought will come and I don't know where the fuck it comes from. This is weird because I'm just like a head out of a cloud. The thought will come, but I create what I speak. So I can't grab the thought every day, but I can then speak into the thought. Mm-hmm. And when I speak into the thought, that means I'm interpreting my thought now. You have to regain your power to interpret the thought. The thought itself doesn't have meaning. You think it does. It doesn't have meaning. It relies, data relies on the being that's reading the data to know what that data means. So if you and I read computer code right now, like 1001, whatever the fuck these things are, we probably might know what it is. You might know a little bit. I don't know any of it. But a computer genius engineer, that same information, he could decode it. He could understand it. Mm-hmm. Is it not charging you?
This freaking huge bug.
Do the top one.
It's not going in. It's not going
Flip
in.
it upside down. Then go. Did it go?
Yeah, but I did that.
Smart, huh? Okay. Don't play with them when I'm talking. The thought doesn't have a meaning. That's why we go to therapists. That's why we go to motivational seminars. That's why we go to relationship experts. That's why we go to psychics. And that's why we go to everywhere we go, so that we can get somebody else to interpret what's happened to us in a way that we can take it on and heal ourselves with their interpretation. And negative people are simply people that are taking some kind of thought and putting a negative spin on it. Watch out for that, girl. Be careful with that. You know what? That was like the video that I did today. All they're doing is they're taking the data and they're interpreting it negatively for you. Positivity is I'm interpreting my thoughts in a positive way. Confidence is I'm interpreting my thoughts in a confident way no matter what comes up. So it all comes down to this basic idea. How are you interpreting? What are you speaking into your thoughts? The thought itself doesn't have meaning. In fact, you're walking around carrying everybody else's meaning. As a child, they told you what it meant. Mm-hmm. As they're telling my niece what things mean right now. This is good, this is bad, this is polite, this is not polite, this is that. So she's starting to get these thoughts now that they mean all that. And so her world is being colored. Sharing is caring. That's a made-up concept. Every child willingly shares something they have with people they like. They want to. They share their toy. Buy a toy for the child. Child will bring the toy and want to play with you. Mm. And every child doesn't want to share with people they don't want to share with. Mm-hmm. But then there's an interpretation that if you don't share, you don't care. That's not true. And so this datum goes in the mind and it becomes like, oh, that's what's going on. But then it's conflicting with the actual nature of what's going on.
Yeah.
You have to regain your concept of your thoughts. What are you going to define them as so that they take you where you want to go? So if you want to go somewhere, first you have to know where that place is. There's a direction to your thought. This is why people who don't know what they're doing, they don't have goals, they don't have purposes, they'll interpret things like 1,000 different ways and they'll just spin in circles.
Yeah.
For example, we have a filter, right? In our house, in our tribe, in our family, in my academy. Mm-hmm. The filter is this. Okay? We're unbreakable, we're strong, and we'll fucking make it no matter what. So I mean, everything could go wrong at some point. We still look for those opportunities to be strong in those things. This is it. And we prove it every day, in every way, that we're still here, expanding no matter what the opposition did. All that is a filter. It's just looking around and finding red wherever you want to fucking find red, and then going, well, that pink is kind of red too, and this is kind of red. Well, that could be that. It's $1 million going to your enemy. So in this case, even if you're not feeling very strong, like what I used to think when I would get sick, I was like, oh, my superpowers are coming to me.
I remember that.
Right? Or the fact that my eyes, I can't see very good because I wear contacts and glasses. I always thought, oh, it must be all my other senses must be super sharp now. I'm like Daredevil. That was why I like Daredevil, because he was blind, but he could see things and whatever. But that's just an interpretation of bad eyesight. But if I'm thinking that all my other senses must be sharper now, don't you think that all my other senses growing up are going to get sharper if that's what I kept thinking? Yeah. Of course. Of course. Because, you know, when you try to tune your sense into something,
Yeah.
what are you doing? You're fucking tuning it in. So if you grow up thinking constantly that since I can't see very good, everything else I must be able to experience really easily and be able to see things through whatever, then the child is doing that. So we're living in our filters. And when someone is helping us, they're just taking a look at your thoughts and then going, well, I know you think it means that, but try this on for size. And when you take it on, if it's a stronger, more survival filter, your life gets better. And when someone's harming us, they're giving you a negative filter. So like what a hater does is takes what you're doing and tries to impose a negative filter on it for you and others. Same thing you're doing ends up looking negative because a hater just makes it try to look negative. They're just interpreting something that's positive in a negative way. It's neither. You know what you're doing. But what a hater is by definition is somebody who tries to abracadabra, I create what I speak, and they try to speak into your creation something negative, and they try to say it to others, and they hope somebody else will say it, and somebody else will say it, somebody else will say it, and when everybody says it, it becomes real.
Totally.
That's why at that moment you have to learn to speak into them. The truth. Over and over and over. Don't not say anything.
It's like a rumor.
That's what rumors are.
Yeah.
That's what lies are. They're made up realities. That's what a lie is, right? A lie is a made up reality. It's not that. I'll say it's that, and I'll get everyone to believe it. It becomes that.
That's why I like reputation. I feel like reputation is good.
That's right. Because you don't abracadabra once. You have to constantly do it. You get what I'm saying?
Totally.
Because your mind has already been extremely conditioned for a long time by people whose only desire was to control us. Even if they liked us. Like, even if you had good parents like mine. They didn't want a rebellious child. Who wants a fucking rebellious child? Nobody wants a fucking rebellious child. So that means everything that was put inside the mind was designed to make you docile, like not aggressive, to make you comply all the time, and to make you not think for yourself, because if you fucking do, then you're going to question your parent, like good parents, and be like, what the fuck is that? Why are you telling me some weird shit like that? Right?
Yeah.
That's what has been taught for so long. So now here we are, I'm 40 years old. You're as old as you are, whatever you're doing. Okay, I'm going to be wrapping this up now. This is a very huge teaching. It can go so far. Because you're always interpreting what things mean. Always. So you have to start changing the filter in your mind so that it means whatever that thing happened means somehow the meaning you give it moves you towards your goals. No matter what. The reference on this that you can use is Viktor Frankl. The guy, I've used him before, was tortured in a prison camp. His family was killed and tortured in front of him. His friends were tortured and killed in front of him. And he survived. And then when he came out, he was completely sane. Completely sane. And they didn't understand why he was so sane. And he said he got to the point where he looked at his prisoners, the people that imprisoned him, his guards, and he started to feel bad for them while they were torturing him. We hear the word torture, and we don't understand that there's physicality behind torture. It's not a word. It's like your fingers being broken. It's like you being cut and smashed. He was being tortured, right? Dumped in the fucking water to drown and to bring him back up, things like that. So as they were doing that, he was feeling bad for them. And he got to the point where he said the difference was they didn't have a choice anymore. They were doing things that they knew was wrong, but they didn't have a choice anymore. They had to do it. But me, I still had a choice on how I thought and how I responded to no matter what they did. That man, very powerful man. Okay, Viktor Frankl. All right. Electra, what's happening?
Just a little cold.
Okay, then turn it off.
I'm holding this up with my body.
Hannah, turn it off, please. Okay, that's it for this. Now let me find out what you guys, what's happening with you, Jess. Start with you.
Okay. So I don't remember exactly what you said at the very beginning, but it reminds me of an accident I was in where I took something that I was like very serious about like this is how my life is going to go.
Like astrology kind of, right?
Yeah.
That's what you said, okay? Uh-huh.
Yeah. Can I say what it was? Or
No, I'd rather you not, just because people, I don't know, who watches, they could try to use that against you later.
Yeah. So I never realized, obviously, I didn't know why. I didn't know. At the time, I didn't know why it happened.
Yeah.
I was like wondering, like what I did wrong or where I went wrong or like I just, it didn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
But when you said that, I remembered that I was like, I need this. Like, I need someone to, like, I need this year. Because if I don't, something bad's going to happen to me. And I actually really believed that.
Yeah,
but
well, you believe it, it comes
Yeah, but in that accident, you could say, I never thought of that until right now, this moment.
And when I was talking, you didn't consciously, it just came up, right?
Yeah.
That's the clue, everybody. That's the clue. And you guys saw me do a process outside of the camera. And I keep telling you, about a week and a half ago, it's time now for me to demonstrate my next power. That's the first time you guys have seen me do something like that. Okay? This is the thing I want to teach you guys. This is what you have 4 steps in right now. Okay? And you all will learn it, but I have to see how she does first. Okay? This is unique to me. This is something I know how to do. It's a combination of many things, but it fucking works. And I understand that thing just came up when I was talking. So because of that, and then you had a realization. So if it comes up, you have a realization, this is very good. You've now taken it from a sense of mystery in the past.
Yeah.
And you've given it a time, location, date, reason why. And I guarantee you, you're going to be better now. Not even knowing why you feel better all the time. But go ahead. What, Hannah? Fuck. Getting all weird.
And then you said nothing can determine what you think. And I was like, holy shit. And at that moment when you first did say that, I was like, duh. Like, what am I thinking? I can't let other things determine what I'm thinking. Like, so you can have a thought, but you determine what that thought means. Yeah. But before, I'm like, yeah, I don't know. Like, I was just going.
I was just thinking that, yeah.
Yeah.
You didn't have... Yes, I get it. That's a big deal. You were thinking the thought comes up, so it must mean that.
Yeah. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
You determine what that thought means. I don't know where the next thought comes from, but I can tell you I will interpret that thought.
Yeah. So that was like, oh my gosh, are you freaking kidding me? And there was a moment before this one that I had a realization somewhat similar, not the same exact thing, but it was a little bit similar about thoughts in your mind. But this one's just like, when you have a thought, like because thoughts, I mean, they're not supposed to just like come up all the time, but if a thought comes up, I determine what that thought is.
You determine what it means to you.
Yeah, what it means to me.
That's it.
But then there was like another situation literally right after that, and I couldn't think other than the actual
Yes.
situation. So it's not like until after that.
Yeah, but this is why we need help.
Yeah,
We need somebody outside of us, and I know this through Scientology.
yeah,
Self-help doesn't work on this. You need somebody right outside who knows what they're doing to help you pop out of it.
yeah,
Okay? That's just the way it is.
yeah.
Okay?
But prior to that, like I'm saying, if not memories popped up,
Mm-hmm.
just basic thoughts
Mm-hmm.
that like could cause like anxiety or worry or something, they don't have to cause that. They cause whatever I wanted to cause, and
That's
I
right.
would never think that way before.
That's a big deal.
Yeah,
Very cool.
yeah.
Yeah, you had a lot of big changes happen.
Cool.
So we'll stop there. And Electra, hold on, let me just double check what someone's saying. Just make sure it's okay. Okay, go ahead.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. So through all of the teachings, you know, and being a teacher myself,
Mhm.
you know, and helping people, something that has become really apparent, and especially because of this teaching right now, that I have a lot of certainty in,
Mm-hmm.
is that like what I appreciate about like you as my teacher and what I can do for other people is just give like a different perspective
Totally.
on whatever it is they're dealing
Totally.
with, right? And so this gives me a lot of certainty and confidence and calm when I'm helping somebody, that it doesn't actually matter what they bring up ever. That all I have to do is give them a different perspective and possibly a few more until one fits what they need.
This is why I say reality is fluid.
Yeah,
It's
completely.
not what you think it is, because I can get in your head and make it mean 1,000 different things.
Yeah,
But first, let me get in my head
yeah,
and make sure nobody else can do that to me.
yeah,
So you make your defenses sharp. That's why I'm so into my shit. You know, my morning ritual is about 45 fucking minutes now.
yeah,
I'm still missing shit. I still want to stretch, and I'm still missing my stretch.
yeah,
But it's vital, because by the time, no matter how the fuck I wake up, I woke up like a fucking shit today. But by the time I come out of that goddamn fucking shower, every day, consistently, I'm sharp.
yeah,
Consistently, no matter if I'm hungover, no sleep, sick, I guarantee from fucking 10:30 normally or 10:15 till at least 11, I'm sharp. And then now, like today, it just starts to fade by fucking 3, I'm dying.
yeah.
Okay, go on.
So that's really cool to see that. And then, you know, for myself, I know that I work with a very strong frame from being with you for so
Yeah.
long. You know, like it's just like it's almost on default. Like something bad
Yes.
will happen, and I default to like find a solution. It's fine. It's
Yeah.
gonna create power. You know what I mean?
Always.
And I think that's just like kind of like has happened. You know?
Yeah.
But I don't know that I have really like, because it is on default,
Yeah.
you know, and I do recognize that. So this kind of opens up like some more opportunities for me to possibly even create like a bigger.
There you go. So this
Yeah.
came to me as you're saying that. What I have to tell you is this. How great do you want to be?
Yeah.
You're stopping here. How great do you want to be?
Yeah.
Let's go. The
Yeah.
gods are waiting.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's where it needs to go.
Yeah.
So one of my affirmations when I'm in the shower, I won't give you the wording because I think it's, if you understand this, you know, it's a little too much. But one of the affirmations, let's just say I'm a soccer player. It would be something like this. Like Hermes and Zeus and name some gods, right? Are learning soccer from me.
Mm.
That's one of like my affirmations. How great do you want to be? Be great enough where Zeus will come down and say, okay, I want you to show me how you do this. Because I am a god of gods. But this thing you do, I need to learn it. That's what my mind is every morning. It's one of my affirmations. So you need to just go, how great do you want to be? Remember this. Zeus was the god of gods, king of gods, right? Poseidon ruled the ocean. Zeus didn't. Hades ruled the underworld. Zeus didn't even go down there. See how that goes? So Athena was this. Apollo was this. So he was the strongest god, but there was gods of things. And I don't want to be the god of gods. I just want to be the god of what I do. So I always stay to that. Watch Diamond Mine today. It's on this. Okay, knowing this, look at what I just said, and then watch Diamond with this in mind. That's why I keep winning. I'm just like, that's fine. I'm not trying to be you. But in this aspect, let the gods and angels and demons and entities and mankind and animals, let them come to me for this. I'm that guy. So how great do you want to go? Why do you guys keep looking up?
It smells like something's burning.
Okay. She's laughing because she can't smell anything.
I know.
That's what she thought. Yeah. Okay.
And also, like,
What?
you know, when we're like, Hannah, can you shut off the lights? And then they all go on and off.
Yes, Hannah does
Like,
backwards.
Hannah, can you...
Yeah. Can you turn off the air conditioner? Fine, the heater is good.
She's
It's
like,
off.
you guys are cold? Here's
Now it says
the-
off or it said off?
No,
It was on, huh?
yeah, I went from cold to hot and then I turned it off. I
Okay.
didn't know you did it.
Okay. Anything else? Okay, come on, Hannah, your turn. I like your makeup today, by the way, Hannah.
Cool, thank
That was
you.
a really good picture you put up too today.
Cool, thank you. Well, it's interesting. I've had realizations all day today that are so similar to what you're teaching and even the diamond mine that you mentioned.
Yeah.
And
You saw the Diamond Mine today?
no, but
Okay.
you said that sentence and I totally got it. I mean, obviously I have to watch it, but the
Yeah.
gist of what you said. So I'm understanding through the teaching tonight different levels of how to create different scenarios. I'm thinking more like artistically and in products and people, and for some reason my mind just goes there, you know.
That's fine, yeah.
And I see like how much I unknowingly use that to use what you're saying to get through a lot of shit, but at the same time it's like, it's almost like the words that keep coming up to me are like, there's levels, you know, like there's levels to it.
Yes.
So I'm just seeing the clarity in creating those levels that I want to make.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and how and then seeing what you did, like as far as like the technology goes, that or whatever you did when we were paused or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, like
It's pretty amazing, right?
yeah, it's so amazing. I'm in such high admiration for it, and my mind is more just like, okay, like step this and you did that and then you did that. And I don't know, it's really cool, so thanks.
You're welcome. Okay, end of lecture. See you on. Okay, everybody, welcome to lecture 3 of Abracadabra. I create what I speak. I have lecture Jess and Hannah here, and Midas and Sphinx. Shadow's sleeping, and Midas, Totem, I don't know what he's doing. Okay, let's talk about this. I'm going to talk about something that alchemists have known for a very long time, and I've lectured on it a few different times. A little boy. Lectured on it a few different times at different levels. But as we move forward, I bring a different, higher level to these teachings, and this is called cause and effect. Think about something you really want in life. That was fast. I don't mean me because you're looking at me. Think of something you want.
I didn't laugh.
That's what I thought. Think of something. That was funny. If I was watching that, it'd be fucking hella funny. Think of something you want in life. It could be a quality of an individual, or it could be a physical thing. In fact, if you can do both, that's even better. If not, just pick one. Okay? Got it? Okay. Now, you think of something. It could be a quality. It could be a physical manifestation. It doesn't matter. Even a quality ends up becoming a physical manifestation, right? That's how we perceive it. So, now watch this. That thing you just thought about is actually the effect. Makes a difference just thinking about that.
Mm-hmm.
What you want is the effect of something. I'll get there. When you have goals, right? And you think about your goals, and people say, set your goals, and I really believe in that, and I use that. The magical way of looking at it is that your goal that you're thought about right now is an effect. You got it that time or no? Because it seems like you didn't catch it in the beginning.
I get it in the physical, but not so much in the characteristic.
Okay, give me a characteristic, any characteristic, and I'll show you what I mean.
Influential.
Influential. To be influential is an effect of something. Am I influential?
Yeah.
Was I born influential?
No.
That is the effect of something.
Right.
You get it? Get it? Okay. So whatever your goal is, I want you to start thinking of your goal as an effect. So when people think about their goals, if they just start thinking, well, that's the effect I'm going for. Can I get that drink again, please? Thank you. That's the effect. Now watch this. Think about that effect, that goal. What are some causes that you have to cause in order to bring that effect about? Start thinking about that for just a second. You want that effect, right? In order to get there, there are certain things you must cause to get there. So, for example, to be influential, you have to cause good communication. You cannot be influential if you can't communicate well. Impossible.
Yeah.
Someone says, I want to be influential. So, okay, good. So the cause is to be a good communicator. So can you cause good communication? The answer is yes. You'd have to be consciously communicating and aware of what you're saying and how you're saying it and the tone and all that other stuff. But that would be your cause. If you cause good communication, the effect will be your influential.
Yeah.
Okay? Question?
Yeah.
What is it?
Because mine was like power,
You gotta define power.
Yeah, like being like powerful, having like control of like life and people around me. Not like full control, but the control I want to have, Not like making them a puppet kind of thing, but having control with, and I thought communication, that was like one of...
How much control do you want?
Just enough to listen.
So they hear you or they do what you want them to do? Because that would be total control.
Well, both.
Well, then you said you don't want to have total control. You say you don't want puppets, but then
like,
you said you don't.
Like,
you want.
Like how there's a way that you can control someone and they can be your little puppet. I don't want that. But
So what do you want?
I wouldn't want someone to, like, just be like a little rag doll. But
What
I
do
would
you
want
want?
to change them. But they would have to be like willing to change, and I want to have that power to be able to change somebody.
Okay, now to be able to change them and control them, you see what's happening is your goal is
Yeah.
not fully defined. Say power,
Yeah.
and that's a word. It means different things to you, her,
So
and me.
like even someone that's online, like
Yeah.
having like a power with my communication, which
To
is
do what?
Which is what I'm meaning to say, not power with my communication to move people.
So what if to move them, you have to control them? Are you willing to do that?
For some reason, that just sounds wrong to me. Maybe that's not what I'm thinking of.
I'm asking you a question. In order,
Yeah.
if you had to move them, but you have to control them, are you willing to do that or not? This is
Well,
good.
then yes.
You would be willing to do that.
Yeah.
Good. So now that's one step. Now you're one step closer to it.
Mm-hmm.
Because now you're going, I am now willing to cause controlling somebody. Whereas before you were like, I don't want to control them.
Yeah, that's
And if you thought you're not going to control them, then you're not going to control them, but yet you want to be able to control them. And so she had to analyze it right now and come to the decision that, okay, well then yes, I'm going to control them. Now you have more influence immediately than you did 5 minutes ago. If you think about all of your students now and signing people up and having them fix their diets and all that, with a new decision that says, I'm willing to control somebody else, you will now do better than I'm not willing to control somebody else, but I want them to do something for me.
Yeah.
That goes against control.
Yeah, totally.
You got that?
I think that's why I was just not understanding the cause.
I know.
Yeah.
That's why I'm going through it with you. That's very good, actually. Sorry. Okay. So, whatever effect you were going for, there's causes, not just one. There's causes you should find. And that's the first thing I want you to look at. Now, if there's an effect that you have been trying to do for a while and you're not getting, one of the reasons is you haven't worked out what the cause is. Like that, we just saw. For example, I want my students to show up more to class. When I tell them to show up, I want them to show up, but I'm not willing to control them to show up. Then you have no control over them showing up. But then you want to have control over them showing up. Yeah, but I want to communicate in a way so that they show up, but that would mean you still have to control them to show up. Oh, I see. So if you're failing in any area that you've been trying to create an effect, one way to look at it through this abracadabra is you have not been looking at the right cause. I create what I speak. Abracadabra. Your disk is almost full. Space saved by optimizing storage. What is it even talking about? What disk?
I can fix that, but it's not necessarily right now.
Wait, how is that even possible? I just bought this computer.
And you may have not gotten a lot of space on it.
On the computer? It's 2017. What the fuck?
There's different. I know. I mean,
I just got this.
Yeah,
It's not
but
the
it's
lowest
the memory on it isn't high. So you can buy a computer, but you can probably make one video on one, and that you couldn't do.
Not a fucking Mac.
Yeah, you have to buy a higher one with higher memory.
That's absurd. I think it's absurd. I think it's hacked. It just doesn't make any sense to me.
No, it's like, remember how my phone kept running out of space, and I had to get one with more.
I just
gigabytes?
got this computer in 2017. That's absurd. Okay, whatever. If you're watching this right now and you're like hitting your head because you're a computer tech and you get what I'm saying, I know.
No, it's very
No.
simple. You delete the trash, and we delete the videos that you don't need.
I don't have that much on there, man. I just got this computer and I barely have anything on there. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Hours of footage on there.
No, I don't. But this new
She
computer?
downloads it on there.
No, I don't. 8 hours? 10 hours? It's nothing for a fucking computer. 10 hours of fucking footage, big deal, and my Mac can't take it. It's ridiculous. Brand new Mac. Can't have 10 hours and it's almost full. Okay. Take a look at an effect that you want and realize that if you're not getting it, you're missing the cause. And you're actually creating the non-effect. So, for example, I'm not willing to control people is I create what I speak. I'm not willing to control people, but then I want them to come in, but you're creating I'm not willing to control people. Your decision, your internal talk is what is creating your reality in abracadabra. What you're telling yourself is what matters. I could tell the world anything, but it's what I tell myself that matters. Now, once I tell myself something and I tell the world the same thing, now I'm congruent. But that doesn't matter. You could literally lie to the world and tell yourself something else, and your reality will be what you tell yourself, not what you tell outside. So that's why a lot of people would pretend to be positive on the outside, or pretend to be good or charitable or whatever, but they're not actually. They're just not those people. Why? Because their internal talk is just the opposite. It's just, a lot of Christians are like this, right? They're charitable, they sacrifice, they turn the other cheek. Is outside talk. Internally, no. They're jealous, envious, they're greedy. That's the internal talk. That's why they can't manifest it externally. Then every once in a while you have somebody like a Mother Teresa or somebody like that shows up, and they fucking go head over heels over a person who actually is being charitable. Like, I thought that's what it was supposed to be. What's so special about that bitch? What is so special about that bitch if she's just doing what the fuck the Bible said? And I thought all you motherfuckers were trying to do that. I don't know why nobody ever questioned this thing. What is so special about somebody doing what everybody's pretending to be doing? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's why we know people are not real in their communication, because they always tell me how real I am, but then they pretend like they're real.
Yeah.
So what's so special about me being fucking real when everybody's pretending to talk real?
Yeah.
So then that means that everybody must be being fake, pretending they're being real, but they're telling me you're so real, who's comedian is so real. My God, he's so real.
Yeah.
I kind of lost that part.
Don't worry about it. Think about the effect that you want. Got it?
Mm-hmm.
And now find some causes that would create that effect. You do that too. Okay, and listen, I'm out of the shower. You see, this looks like puffball.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now do you have some causes?
Yeah, totally.
Okay, do you have some causes? Good. Do you have some causes? Good. Now think of an effect that you've been struggling to create and realize that you don't have the right causes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Think about the effect that you've been wanting to create that you haven't done for a while, and ask yourself this. For example, you've wanted to create that, but instead, here's the next question. Instead, what have you been creating? So I'll give you an example. Someone says, I want to be charitable. I'm a Christian here. Then congratulations if you're a Christian, you bought this. Now I'm going to teach you how to fucking run your Bible.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be charitable. But then they're like, but I can't be charitable. I have a really hard time. Then the question I would ask them is, okay, so you've been wanting to be charitable as an effect, but you haven't been. Here's the thing. What have you been being? That's the question I'm asking you. So you've been looking to create a cause, to create an effect, right? But you've been struggling with that. That means you haven't been doing that. But the next question that'll make it more clear for you is, then what have you been doing? Look at that. How would you describe what has been happening in that subject?
So how would you go from speaking? Whoa, this actually looks super dope.
Thank you.
Yeah, speaking one way to your clients, to knowing a way that you can speak, but how would you make that transition? Just do it and then say believe?
No, we're not there yet. What I want you to do is to do what I'm telling you first.
Yeah.
What I'm asking you to do is something you've wanted to do that you haven't been getting done.
Yeah.
Got that? Then ask yourself, what is it that you have been creating? What is the effect that you have been getting?
Yeah.
How would you, this is abracadabra, I create what I speak. How would you word what's been happening? I got how you would word what you want, but how would you word what you've been doing so far? Start thinking about what's been happening and how would you put it into words? How would you say to me what you've been doing? And try to find the words behind it. How would you describe it in a story, in a movie? I've been wanting, for example, I've wanted to make $1 million for every year, but I haven't been able to make it. I said, that's great. What effect have you been creating? The guy goes, I've been making $30,000 a year. I said, okay, so that means the words are, I've been making $30,000 a year. That's the effect. What is it that's been happening instead of that? You've been trying to do that, but this is happening. So this thing, how would you word it?
Mm-hmm.
You got something? It looks like you got a realization there, right? You got something? Did you have a realization there or no?
Yeah.
Yeah? What about you? Realization or no? No, not yet.
No, I mean, but just like, I don't know why this word keeps coming into my head.
Yeah.
A microcosm of this thing. So I don't know. I get it fully. I just no realization yet.
Yeah, that's what I said. Then why did you say no?
Okay.
I just said no realization yet. You said, and then you went the whole thing and said no realization yet. That's what I just said. Jesus.
Yeah.
No. Okay. So you got that you've been trying to do something, but you've been doing something else. How would you word that? You got that? You got how you would word that one, right? Okay, now watch this.
So that's not that word.
What?
I kept thinking, why are you thinking that word? But how you said you got like how you would word that.
What do you mean?
I was thinking, why does that word keep popping up?
What word?
Microcosm.
Yeah.
But you were like, think of a word to describe or whatever.
No, I'm saying, no, not a word.
Okay.
How would you use words to describe what's been going on? How would you say that? Right? You wouldn't say microcosm. That wouldn't work. You would need to give me a bunch of words that describe what's happening.
Okay.
This is why these products are so important. You see, they help me clear up the teaching for you. You see that? For you, honey. I clear for you. Right? It's better for you because they ask questions and they don't get it.
I don't get it.
Okay? All right, so you got something now, how you would word the other effect that you have been creating? Got it?
Yeah.
Got it? Mm-hmm. Now watch this. On that one that you are creating that you don't want, what are the causes that are creating that? Look at the things you're causing.
Yeah.
There's not just an effect by itself, it follows a cause. So if you've been getting that effect, now I want you to locate the cause that you are cause in your life. I create what I speak, not I create what he speaks.
So crazy.
Right?
Yeah.
Good. You get that? This is huge. I mean, goddamn, this is the third lecture. It's fucking huge. It's like an elephant dick.
Shadow's eyes
I've seen it. I was like, dude, elephant dicks are big.
oh my God.
Okay? You got something.
Yeah.
So now what have we looked at? We've looked at effect that we wanted. What will be the cause? And we look at effect that we are getting at places we don't want. And we should have located the cause by now, right?
Yeah.
Got it? Good. Now watch this. If you no longer want that effect that's happening, right? Instead of fighting the effect, which is what people are doing, they're fighting the bills, they're fighting the 30,000, they're fighting the insecurity, they're fighting this and that. All you have to do is stop creating the cause. The effect is following something you're doing. You are cause in your life. Yes, take notes. You are cause in your life. That's just what it is. I mean, the more you understand that, the more you get that, the more your power grows. You are cause of your life, period. Nobody else is causing anything in your life. You're under the delusion that somebody else is causing, and that is why you're suffering. You think that somebody else has a power to cause in your life. Absolutely not. Actually, completely impossible. By the laws of cause and effect, it doesn't work. Nobody else can cause anything in your life. You ultimately would have to make the decision to cause that for yourself, no matter what they tried, no matter what they did. You cannot have a cause that you yourself are not creating. You don't have to believe me, but let's just keep watching my products. Get the next one. The next one came to me today. The next product already when I was driving. So I know it's going to be that. I won't say it now, but I'll say it after.
Yeah.
It's funny because actually a word I have to look up, but it just came to me. Boom, that's the next product.
That's cool.
Really cool. I don't know the exact name though. Okay, so now we have effect that you didn't want, right? Effect that you didn't want. Finding the cause. Then instead of trying not to have the effect, which is what people do, now all you got to do is not create that cause anymore. And I guarantee if you don't create that cause, the effect will no longer be there. They follow each other.
Yeah.
What's happening to the
So
name?
that was my question.
Yeah, but now ask it.
You said to not create that cause to have that effect, right?
If you don't want that effect, don't create the cause. Jesus. The nail keeps catching. It's broken, so it keeps catching. Yeah.
I mean, how would you? Because I'm thinking about it.
Yeah.
But I'm also seeing these people just like, anyway. Because
I get it. She wants to start to communicate differently, right?
Yeah.
But she's afraid that if she makes that big of a jump from
Yeah.
where she's at now to where
That
she
big
wants
jump.
that big of a
to
jump.
communicate, she doesn't know if the response is going to be where it gets rid of people or it's going to be.
So let me ask you
received
something.
them.
Do you think it's going to get rid of them, or do you imagine, or I mean, do you know?
Yeah.
Do you think? What do you
I
think? Chances?
feel that they would be like thrown so off guard, like what the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
And I see that that's how I my cause towards them is the effect of the situations that we talked about earlier, like about like training, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm seeing that, and I'm like, whoa, because I'm kind of, and I this is the wrong word to say.
So then say it. Say the right word.
There's moments where I speak like carefree, you know, and it's just like, I don't know, it's like a little free little bird kind of way.
That's a metaphor.
But yeah.
Okay, no, I'm teaching you something. Go ahead.
If I spoke in like so you flip the free bird and you're just like, you're soaring now, and you're like, You're soaring. You're going straight to the point instead of just like floating around.
Yeah.
Like what you want to have happen, and you just go right through. I feel like that would make them like, whoa.
And
like,
what? What's going to happen after whoa?
It could either go.
It could either go
that I feel with some clients,
Yeah.
it would just be bad. Like
Bad means what?
I guess not bad. They would just leave. They're obviously not strong enough to handle my communication.
Okay, and with some clients,
But I didn't think
what
that.
about the other clients?
It would just change.
So what do you have to do now?
I get it now.
You get it now?
Yeah, but
There
I
you go.
just had to talk about
So I
that
didn't,
first.
yeah, exactly. But watch. So what you're watching, you're observing a process of me asking questions to clear up something that a person already has an answer to, but is not looking with clear perception.
Yeah.
I didn't answer that question. I
Yeah.
asked questions as she was stating something. Everybody get that?
Yeah.
This is an extremely powerful way to make a change in another human being's mind. Is the power of questions. You ask the right questions and a person will clear it up. You get that? That's all it is. Because your problem that you're having is you haven't analyzed your problem.
Yeah, totally.
Any
Yeah.
problem.
Yeah.
Whatever problem you're having is because you haven't correctly analyzed it. When you correctly analyze a problem, all the pieces start to open up and then you find the solution to it. Every problem has a solution.
Yeah.
Has to. It's because every effect has a cause and a problem is an effect of a cause. So we're back to the lecture because my brilliant mind can put it all together like that. Right? So now, we take a look now and we say, so there are certain effects you don't want in your life, right? And maybe up until now, you've been thinking that those effects are out of your control. But I'm here to tell you that you can find the cause of those effects inside of you, not somebody else. Even if somebody is like, I'm in a relationship that my boyfriend beats me all the time or something, right? My boyfriend beats me. You are the cause somewhere of staying there, of not doing something about it, which allows the beating to continue. You don't fight back. You don't call the cops. You stay in the house. You put up with it. Whatever it is the cause you have to find in you if you want your power. That person could be a piece of shit. Okay, let me give you an example. Okay, if you walk the street, there's a chance that you might get mugged. That goes for everybody. Everybody get that? Now, there are things you can do causing you that will make that mugging less and less and less likely. Can you see how that is? And there are things you can do that'll make that mugging more and more and more likely. We could actually do a statistic of a person who does this, and that is more likely to get mugged and less likely here. Now, if the mugging does happen, then there are things that you can do again, cause point, that will prevent that mugging from being a bad mugging.
Yeah.
So let me give you an example. We're going to take an extreme example, okay? You're walking, you have a pepper spray, a gun, and a knife, and you know how to use it. And you're walking with 6 pit bulls, full grown. Okay? Got that? The chances of being mugged are slim in that case. Not impossible, but slim in that case.
Yeah.
Okay? You're walking and you have your headphones on. It's nighttime. You don't have any weapons on you. You're a female. You're showing your legs. You're showing your chest. Your boobs are big. You're showing your stomach. Legs are being shown. You're having a good time, and you're singing to yourself as you're walking at night in a bad neighborhood. Now, we just increased all the fucking... You see that? But that bitch would say, I didn't want to get mugged. It wasn't my fault. There was bad people. There's bad people everywhere, but you, by your own cause, are allowing these things to continue the way they are.
Yeah.
Are there times when there are catastrophes? That's why we call them catastrophes. But none of us are living in every moment catastrophe. Catastrophe is something that will happen every once in a while that'll be really huge. Yeah, why are you so far away? Look at the distance. What's so important over there?
Well, I stand up, and then when I'm like this, it hurts my wrist. My weight is back on the bed.
Stop it. Get over
I'm
here.
serious. Okay.
Okay. So we have now a way through this, but there's more to this. We have now a way through this to say, okay, I don't want that effect. I don't want that effect. You got to snap out of it. Okay? Because I know exactly what's going on in your mind. You need to stop. Got it? For sure or no? You got to be stronger. You get it? You got to be stronger. You can't be stimulated like that. It's fucked up. It's fucked up. It's enough. You have to go whatever effect that I don't want in my life that's still continuing, instead of hoping and wishing for the effect to not be there, what I need to do is find out what I'm doing, my cause point, to allow that effect to continue.
Yeah.
The guy's broke. I can find exactly what he's doing to stay broke. See that?
Yeah.
She's fat. I can find out exactly what she's doing that she's fat. I mean, it's literally she's doing it all the time.
Yeah.
But remember, in their own mind, they don't know that. That's why they're suffering. They actually think something else is doing it. And it's a responsibility level. Now, again, it's abracadabra. I create. My first step to create. I create what I speak. The person speaks, it's not my fault, I don't know what's happening, I don't know, I just don't know, that's why I hate the word, I don't know. Then you don't know, and then that's what it is. You don't know the cause, and the effect will continue to be there. But if you're suffering in your life, if the effect, to me, happens more than 2-3 times, that's it. I have to find the fucking cause for this thing. Now, if I can't find the cause, let's say in a social relationship, I will actually purposefully trigger the effect. I will literally, in social relationships, trigger that effect until I can find the fucking cause, if it's been bothering me.
Totally.
Well, you've all seen me do it before.
Totally.
Yeah.
I will push, so I could see it. Because I need to find out what the fuck is causing that thing. And I always find it. Always. Okay? Because I know the law. The law is, if something's taking place, something must be causing it. That's just the way the universe works.
Yeah.
There's no effect by itself. And that's this lecture. Is that if you start to take a look at your life as a cause-effect, there's one more piece that's going to blow your mind that's coming. If you see life as a cause-effect, and you start taking a look at your life and just breaking down effects that you don't like and going, okay, I need to find the causes that I'm doing. And then you start finding effects that you want to have and going, I need to find those causes. Now, sometimes it's going to take some time. So, for example, if you're 300 pounds and you want to be 120 pounds, then you're going to have to cause over a long period of time to get there. But if you know this law and if you locate what it is you got to do, then you will get there. It's just going to take some time. How did I know, and how do I know that I will be one of the biggest celebrities on the planet one day? I know that that effect is created by these causes. I have looked at the history of the planet. I have seen people with my knowledge. I've seen what happens when they operate this way, and this is exactly what happens. And it's just taking place step by step by step by step. We want to get the girl, right? In seduction, we want to get the girl. That's the effect. The cause you have to find. What is it that you are going to do that's going to trigger that effect in the end? That's when you find that, then again, how do I know that my seduction skills are so high and how much confidence I have? It's because I know that that effect is a combination of these causes. And all I got to do is just create those causes. Now, does it work 100% of the time? I haven't missed yet. But I also know another law that there are no absolutes in this universe. So I can't be 100%. There's got to be a time I missed. Most likely, I would have missed if I went for somebody who maybe didn't give me the right vibe. I just don't go for someone who doesn't give me the right vibe. It's disrespectful to me, right? I'm not that guy who goes after a girl who's being rude to me. So maybe that's why I bet 100%, is that I pick it up from the beginning. If I, try to interact, she says, fuck you, right? But if she doesn't, then I can get her for sure. So that could be the reason. And I don't ever really understand why somebody goes for somebody that doesn't like them. It doesn't make sense to me. Okay, but anyways, are we tracking so far? Everybody getting it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going good?
Absolutely.
Good. It's going good still, yeah? Okay, we're out of it a little bit? Good. Okay. Now, what was okay, so here's the big missing link in this thing for everybody. Well, I think a lot of that was missing, but I think if you add this one piece, you're going to have a whole different appreciation for the cause and effect. If the effect is this big that you're going for, then the cause has to be this big.
That's what my head was trying to figure out.
What do you mean?
Well, like as I was taking notes, I kept seeing like where I have been off and what exactly that means. Is like if I'm looking for this type of effect, but I'm causing. Let's say I'm looking for this type of effect, like really big effect.
Yeah.
Right? Or loud or whatever. But I'm causing something that's maybe like a third of that.
Exactly.
Like
Then
that's
you will get a third of that effect.
right.
So there's an ancient alchemy law that if you want something, you give that. Energy exchange.
Yeah.
Person wants $1 million but cannot produce, create, give $1 million worth of something.
Yeah.
So what happens then is they don't get $1 million. And they wonder why they're not getting $1 million. But if you analyze them, they're not giving $1 million worth of something. So when I created Diamond Mind, I said this would be my $1 million program.
Totally.
Because I knew that I would give $1 million worth. I would give more. So there's another law. I'm going to give more, but that's why I'm going to make more than $1 million bucks. The bottom line is you can't cheat cause and effect.
Yeah.
The effect will be in proportion to the cause.
That's like
So when you
cool.
see the person who's super fit, they've caused super fitness. And then, of course, there's genetics and this and that or whatever, right? I'm not saying that those things don't exist. Some people are smarter, some people are... No one's equal. But that's not the point. Why would you argue that point and not get the effect, not get the law that says, what do you want in your life? What do you need to exchange for it? That exchange is the cause. The effect is the return for the exchange that you're giving out.
Mm-hmm.
Are you with me?
Totally.
So now think again about an effect you want to have. Okay, wake up more. Think about an effect you want to have.
Okay.
Now ask yourself this question. How big should that cause be that you're going to do? What level does it have to be to get that effect? Good realization there. Right?
Yeah.
And notice where you're not getting the effect, but you're kind of getting close to it, is only because you're not giving the right level of cause. You're almost giving that level of cause. So for example, like you said, you're getting them to do it, you're getting them to change, but you're not getting the full effect that you're going for. The full effect may have to be, I can control them completely. It's a different level of cause. It says what I say goes. Now we'd have to ask ourselves this question. If a child was going to run into the street and get hit by a car, would you want the child to make that decision based on rational thinking? Like you're like, okay, you're trying to explain it, but the kid is running into the street. Or do you want to have total control over that child, obviously, to not run into the street or touch the plug or anything like that? So when a person is less responsible and they're about to damage themselves, at that moment you want to be able to control them if you don't want them to get hurt.
Yeah.
Because they're going to hurt themselves. You have to get what I said because that was actually directed towards you. Okay? So if somebody is going to hurt themselves and you're there to help them, but if by allowing them to make a decision, they're going to make the decision to hurt themselves, then the responsible thing to do is to decide for them so they don't hurt themselves if they're under your care. So as a trainer, the client is under the trainer's care for as long as they pay the trainer. They're not to make decisions on their food, on their schedule, and on their workout. Because if they could have done that, they wouldn't have hired you. That's what people miss. Trainer is 100% cause of the training session, of the food, and the schedule. That is the trainer I want. Not the one that allows the person to make a decision when that person's decisions have been wrong enough to get them to the level they are. Are you with me?
Yeah.
It's the same thing in a relationship with a guy and a girl. If the guy has demonstrated, let's say in my case or some of my students, that he in his own life has total control over certain areas and he's doing well, and the female has demonstrated she is not doing that, he is to override her. She is to listen to him 100%, and he is not to allow her to make a decision whether or not it's a good idea to talk to that guy friend of hers.
Yeah.
It's you don't talk to guys, actually. Because prior to me, you did, and that was the result. You either got raped, you got used, or they only did that so that they could fucking have sex with you. And now you're my girl, and that ain't fucking happening anymore. Because you demonstrated prior to me you couldn't see that shit. But it's a fucking fact. And that's where guys fail when they can't display that. But the guy can't display that because in his own life, he hasn't demonstrated a high level of mental or social mastery, but I have. And that's why I can say it. So a girl will comply to me very quickly. When we were in LA, my friend that was hanging out with us is not somebody that complies to people. I know this. It's actually the opposite. It's the way that she would feel trapped. I know this 100% about the person. But she was giving me high compliance, and I could have gotten total compliance if I asked for it. But I only asked that from a girlfriend. Meaning, don't even question me, bitch. But the reason why she was giving that level of compliance is that she sees the mastery of my life and knows that she doesn't have that. So in this case, if you're a trainer, if you're a martial arts master, teaching your students, I don't care. If someone is paying you and they go under your care, like my niece under my care, let's say, it can't be like, oh, I was babysitting her and then she put her finger in the plug. Like, no. You can't let her do that.
Yeah.
And like when you guys have the dogs, you are 100% in control. Don't expect the dog to not run if there's a cat or to not bite the child. That is not okay. I have to control that dog, total control that dog. Why? Because the dog has demonstrated that without my total control, it may have the possibility of biting a child, running after a cat, running into the street, or pissing and shitting. So when I step up, I have total control over my dog. But guess what? Once again, we see the dog is more sane, everybody's more happy. We see the girl is more sane, everybody's more happy. We see the students and clients are more sane and happy. When I started Diamond Mind, I said very clearly, if you share these teachings, you're out. If you talk about it, you're out. That seems pretty severe, and people will be like, well, fuck this. No one said fuck this. One person got kicked out for doing it. That's it. And people are very careful about it. Because I should have total fucking control over that shit. Because they've demonstrated to me that prior to that, they take knowledge and they spill it around, talk about it, and it becomes nothing. If you have a question, you ask the teacher while the teacher is alive. I'm here still, right now. Whenever you watch this, maybe I won't be, but I'm still here. I'm teaching Diamond Mind. Every Saturday, when I do a live lecture, ask me your question of me who put the knowledge there. Don't ask Jack or Jim or Sally. They have a different interpretation. You destroy my knowledge. You see how that shit works?
Yeah.
And so, as you can see, Diamond Mind as a program is extremely powerful. And the results that people get are... Nobody... I mean, come on. You don't see that for Tony Robbins. You don't see that for all these fucking people.
Totally.
My testimonials are killing everybody.
Yeah.
Good, because no one's diluting it. I went to Wim Hof, and the fucking trainer of Wim Hof is telling me that she does it a little bit different than Wim Hof does. Because she's discovered, I didn't come here, bitch, for you.
Yeah, that's dumb.
That's not for you. I'm here for him. And you're already diluting it and teaching his method under his name. Not okay.
Yeah. It's like to take one of your teachings and to say, well, this way works better. Like
That's actually what they're
way.
saying, and that's what they do. But that's what they do in every religion. That's what they do in every place. Because they talk to each other about it and say, well, no, what I like. No, don't do that. Go to the guy. When he's dead, good luck. But he's still alive. That's how I learned the mystery method. I just asked mystery. I asked the guy who fucking made it. I read the fucking book. Then I asked him. Paid whatever I could and I said, what does this mean, dude? Literally, I asked him, what did it mean when you wrote that? I even asked him about the experience he wrote in the book, about his best friend or student, fucking his girlfriend or something. I wanted to hear from him what it was.
Yeah.
So you ask yourself, how big or what is the magnitude or level of cause? Now, cause is a very big deal in this. It's something that you have total control over. Got that? Total control over. Not you kind of control. So if you want to make $1 million or $2 million or $10 million or whatever dollars, you have to find where you have total control over that cause, wherever that is. And once you find that, you do that constantly. And that's why Some people keep making more and more and more money. Go ahead, I don't want it for you. And others don't. Why some people keep having better and better relationships? Why, well, blah, blah. What have they done? They have found the cause point in themselves. They're confident. They go out there and they keep doing it. And others keep hitting and missing. They don't know. Sometimes it works. Sometimes the student listens. Sometimes the student doesn't listen. Sometimes this, sometimes that. Again, it's not like 100% the client's going to say, okay, but like you said, some will be like, this is too much, I'm going to go. That's okay. I built IMC on that.
Yeah.
That's what made us elite. We are for the best. We're not. That's why we don't charge $10. That's why our private lessons are so high in their price. Hers. Because if you train with the lecturer, you're going to be changed. There it is. Now, are you paying just to say you have a personal trainer? Or are you paying to change your body and your mind? Because if you're going to change your body and your mind, then I bet you can't put a price on it. And that's why I know my price can keep going higher and higher and higher. What are you paying for, literally? Like, if someone says to me, I have been suffering my entire life from lack of friends or lack of girlfriends or lack of confidence. So you've been suffering? Yeah, how many years? Like the last 10 years since high school, whatever. And I say, how much would it be worth to you if that actually wasn't a problem? Money-wise. See, if they truly believed that I could solve the problem, then the money wouldn't matter. So the only reason why they don't pay you is they doubt that that could possibly be the truth. So I just invested in YouTube recently, or I'm about to, right? I have my doubts. I am taking a risk. It's a big financial movement, right? And I don't know 100%. Because let's say I knew 100% fact that they were going to do what they said. Why would I care? I wouldn't care. And that's how you discover that when there's a hesitation, is the person doesn't 100% believe you. If they did, they would pay for it. Because they're paying for something they really want. So if they're not getting it, they don't really believe that that thing you said is actually going to solve that problem yet. They might, like I think these guys probably are going to do it, and I'm going to take that risk. But if I knew 100%, then I would, without question, pay it. Yeah. If you knew 100% whatever you wanted, your money would take care of it, then you would pay without thinking about it. You only have hesitation when you're not sure if that is the answer. Yeah. So you, as a salesperson, as a trainer, as a relationship, as in any area of your life, it is your job to take the doubt out of your potential client, customer, or whoever is on the receiving end. They cannot doubt what's going on. Okay? Second one, you were here, not the first one. I think you should go out in the first one you didn't react. Okay? Are you with me?
Yeah.
I'm going to wrap it up, so I'm going to go to you in a minute, okay? Yeah. Go have a question? Yeah. Wrap it up, pull it off. Take it off.
Pull it out. Yeah. So when you're communicating and trying to influence a person, is there proper words that you would use, or is it just whatever you believe?
That is the skill.
Yeah.
That is the science that people pay a lot of money for, and that is what I'm a master at.
Yeah.
Yes, there are words, there's tonality, there's gestures, there's colors, there's smells, there's future, there's so much. That is what you're learning. That is my highest ability. Exactly what you just said. Yeah. So here's the answer. With what you know, you're to use what you know to influence. Meanwhile, you learn more. I don't think, honestly, there's anybody greater than me at this thing. Okay, if there is, I don't know them. There may be somewhere in the world, right? So in my people I know and in people other people know, there's nobody as good as me in influence like that when it comes to language. However, I'm still learning and discovering the next aspect. Like, fuck, look at that. You get that? But it doesn't prevent me from doing what I do so magically. So I use what I already know to the best of my ability while I expand my knowledge. So with what you know, you do everything you know to influence. In the meantime, you gather new skills. Does that make sense? It doesn't prevent you because you don't know everything. That's a trap people fall into. It's like the person saying, before I come to the gym, I want to be fit so I can do classes. Like, people actually say that to us.
Yeah. Well, that makes sense. just joking.
Yeah.
No, okay.
You get it?
Yeah.
You
Like
you know certain skills already.
Yeah.
You've been here long enough to have certain skills, certain ideas, certain things. You use those and you master those, and then you learn more.
Yeah, so can I tell you what I think is wrong with how I might communicate?
Yeah, let's do it. It's good for everybody.
I think I communicate with too much care, like care that doesn't even need to affect me, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But when I look at them or talk to them and they tell me all these things, I feel what they're saying to me.
And
I think that I communicate in a very soft, gentle way when I'm not. I mean, I'm a very caring person, but I'm not very soft and gentle to everybody.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
I think that's 100% a correct evaluation.
Yeah. Okay. That's right.
But you're not soft. They've made you believe you are. Because when you're soft, you can be controlled. You understand?
Yeah.
If you're aggressive and you're strong and you don't fuck around and you'll fuck people up, then people are afraid of you.
Mm-hmm.
And so people who were afraid of you in your past wanted you not to be that.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't not be that and be my girlfriend. It's impossible, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's something that I resonate with deep inside a person. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I find somebody who can handle me and what I do. And I can feel that a mile away.
Mm-hmm.
When I said that girl could be my fourth girlfriend, is because she can do that.
Mm-hmm.
She could pretend to be nice, she could whatever, but she's a fucking wolf inside that people don't want to know about. You understand that?
Mm-hmm.
All of you. So the people in your past, they don't want you to be that. They want you to be that. And then it's like this. It's like me, right? Anybody who knows me knows how much I care. Do you know anybody who's cared more than me in your life, honestly?
No.
No, you? None of you have, right? Honestly, right? And I bet you anybody who knows me, even guys, would tell you that. My friends would tell. Nobody has met somebody who cares as much as I do for people. At the same time, have you seen anybody in your life who didn't allow anyone to fuck with them as much as me? No? No?
Mm-mm.
No? What are you looking at in your head? It's taking so long to answer. You know anybody else that's a bad motherfucker like me?
No,
I'll fuck him up right now.
I wouldn't say that, but so something with my mom, but she wouldn't do it from a but she wouldn't.
She's a fucking rat compared to me, that bitch.
No, yeah, but she would do it from a very and then I go back to gentle, but she wouldn't.
She is a fucking mouse compared to me.
Yes,
she doesn't even have my toenail as a fucking power.
I know that,
right.
But I did think that's what I was looking at because of how I remember when I was younger being around her.
Yeah, but she let people fuck with you. She let her own fucking daughter fuck with you.
Yeah, well, she.
Is anyone gonna fuck with you when you're around me? That's not fucking.
No.
Then no. You have a fucking false illusion of that bitch, and I can feel it. Because it was during that fucking time, and she was controlling you too, because I had to fucking wrap her fucking control fingers off your fucking neck when I first met you. Mm-hmm. And I mean spiritually, just so you know. Okay? That's right. In the beginning, she still had a fucking grip on you for a long time. Be very aware of people who don't make you strong. Not people who protect you. They still have a vested interest. Make me strong so I can fight is different than protect me and keep me weak so that you can use me still. That's what you have to get. When Manu came to San Jose, he gave a lecture to my staff. I was sitting on the ground, everybody was sitting. And I remember so clearly. And he said, this man, pointed to me, you go 100% with him or you get out. He told them that. He goes, not 99%, 100% with this man. And he goes, what courage he has to tell you to read, to tell you to research so that you can be strong. He goes, that takes courage that this man has that you haven't seen before. It just went over their head. Mm-hmm. Watch out for people that protect you without giving you the strength to protect yourself. That's what cops are. Cops protect you but keep you weak. You don't need to do that. Give me a gun. Let me carry a gun as freely as a cop. There will not be one crime anywhere that I'm at. But if I can't carry a gun or use it or fight somebody or stab them because I'm going to go to jail, then you're keeping me weak so that you can protect me and serve me. Fuck you. I'll protect me and serve me myself because I'm strong enough to do that. So strong people don't need that shit. And if somebody is protecting you and keeping you weak, fuck them, man. I'm telling you. It's like a martial arts instructor that always steps in and fights for you. Now, if someone's going super hard, I'll step in and say, stop. And if they push it, maybe I'll beat them up. But then I take the student aside and I say, this is what you got to do. And you're being fucking weak. And this is what you have to fix. Because they're going to kick your ass one day when I'm not here. Or when you get in the street, they're going to whoop you out. What are you going to do in the street? What do I do? Watch some of the Panjo video I put up. You know Panjo? My students fight. Because I always tell them, in the air, I can stop it. But if it happens in the street, they're not going to stop. So if you get hit in the nuts here, if you fucking break a finger, I don't care. I mean, we never stop it. They go hard, and people are like, oh shit. Even like big gyms, you know why? Because we don't wear headgear. We don't wear shit. We just gloves. No fucking academy does it like that I've ever seen, ever. Even the big MMA fighters, because they don't want to get hurt. We don't do it like that. Why? Because in the street, no one's doing that shit.
You guys don't wear gloves? Wow.
We wear gloves.
Oh.
That's the only thing we wear. But even big MMA gyms, they wear big fucking helmets and shit like that, right?
Mouth
Shins,
guard.
mouth guard. We don't wear mouth guards. We only wear gloves. We've even done it without gloves, honestly. Okay? But that's not the case anymore. So, but listen. Why? I want them to be strong.
Mm-hmm.
The person who doesn't want you to be strong, but is protecting you, is doing you a disservice. What they're doing is making you need them. Mm-hmm. That is all that's taking place. They're making you need them to survive. And that is a control operation above. At least you could see the enemy. The enemy's hurting you. You go, those guys are hurting me. But the one who's pretending to save you and at the same time is not making you strong, is making you need them. So without them, you're nothing. And if someone does that shit, that is not strength. I give my girlfriends the power to leave me by teaching them everything. It's true. I've done it. Look at the words that left. I make them strong enough. I teach them all my fucking techniques so that they can fucking go get on with their life. What they don't know is it's protected by ethics. You can't do it. That's what they don't get until they fucking leave. You cannot. These teachings are too pure. You cannot fuck with me with it. It doesn't work, guys. But on my side of things, I give it. I show you how I pick up and manipulate other women. Think about it. What if I didn't teach you any of that? What could I possibly do with you besides have you completely addicted to me for the rest of your fucking life? With me, ease of mind. I can control anybody, especially women that trust me and love me. Like, give me a break. Mm-hmm. Yet you see me break down techniques. You see me show texts. You come to my fucking pickup lectures. Like, are you fucking kidding me? You have access to all the videos. That's what guys trip on. Like your girlfriend's. I'm like, not only that, I will go over how I picked them up right in front of you. They tripped out on love potion number 4. But they tripped out even the other day when I was going over like Hooters. I could tell the guy's like, damn, he's actually saying it. Like, what if she's just like, oh my God, you know? He manipulated me. What's your point? That's how you make a woman want you. What else are you supposed to do? That's like if a woman had incredible tits and ass and worked out and did her hair and all that and made a guy want her, and somebody was like, you did that just so he wants you. That's how you make a guy want you. Then you get to find out if you like each other. No guy's gonna talk to you if you don't have that shit going on. If he's like a real value guy, he's not gonna look at some nasty bitch without makeup and smelling good and looking. He's gonna be like, fuck you, man. All right, we kind of got off subject, but I think it's very powerful. Actually, could have been a second lecture.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna come to you in a minute. Okay. So get your thoughts together. Think about what we talked about. Cause and effect. Wrong effect has cause. You are cause. Also, whatever cause you have, there's a significant effect that you have to create on that. And remember, you're always finding cause within you. The moment you think that's why don't ever point the finger. It's an old saying. I like it, though. They say when you point a finger, you have 1 pointing out and 3 pointing back. At you. Like this. Point at me. You have 3 pointing back at you. Okay? Nobody points like that. That's how I'm going to point from now on. All 5. What are you doing? You did it. Okay, Jessica, I'll start with you. 56 minutes in this thing already.
Okay. Well, I've had a lot of different realizations.
This has been a journey today. I've been watching you.
Yeah.
Like a roller coaster over there.
Yeah. And that last piece really, changed something.
It cleaned you. Look at you.
Yeah.
It took a burden off your back. You've been carrying a fucking burden for that fucking bitch. I'm telling you. Like you owed something to somebody. You fucking don't owe anybody who keeps you weak. You don't owe anybody who keeps you weak nothing. The only thing you owe people who love you is your strength. Remember that shit. Mm-hmm. The only thing you owe us is your strength. Mm-hmm. You don't owe us your weakness. We only ask one thing. Be strong. So you owe the people you love your strength. What do I owe Ivy? Just think like that. I always put it in that level. I owe her my strength. I owe her. What should I give her that I feel like I owe her because she is in my family? I owe her my strength and nothing else. Not my craziness, not my sadness, not my weakness. The only thing that I owe that child who's the youngest child in my family is my power. Whether it's my money, my protection, my dogs, my friend. So if you ever want to owe somebody, you only owe them your power and strength. You never make yourself less. Mm-hmm. If there's someone you love and they love you. Because they would never ask for anything less than that. I don't ask my girlfriends, this is great. I don't ask my girlfriends not to talk to guys so that they're weaker. That's different. I'm not asking them to be slaves in that situation. I'm asking them to freely get the fucking reason why I'm saying that shit. So that they can, as alpha women, not talk to them. Not as scared little bitches, not talk to them. That's no good. Because then you can't hold them off. And you can't hold the world up to the table. You can't talk to guys, bitch, I don't want to. What's wrong with you that you want to? And that's why nobody gets questioned on that. You see the difference? Is that... I forgot what I was going to say. That's okay. Okay, so go on.
Yeah, so you said how... I would think about people protecting you, yeah, and I would say that they protected me, so I feel like I had a feeling of I owe this person something, but never looked at it as you should have showed me how to be strong.
Thank you. Otherwise you keep me weak.
Yeah. I was just, so in the other world thinking, oh my gosh, thank you for protecting me, but that's now right. I'm nothing if you're not around.
Yeah, I told you that's exactly what they want.
Yeah.
Because that's actually why they do that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that's just crazy to...
We even teach... Look, it's crazy. We even teach our students who pay us how to do everything themselves. From diet to workout to everything. Mm-hmm. Isn't that crazy? Mm-hmm. Because if you want to keep students, you don't do that. Mm-hmm. You make them count on you for everything. But that tells you that you can't even do that because that would feel weird. Even to a fucking client. But how can someone do that to someone they love? Why wouldn't you show me how to be strong, goddammit? Why wouldn't you tell me they can't hurt me or to fight back or to stand up for myself or that I'm worth more? Why do I have to wait for your fucking rescue? And why do you put me in situations where I have to be fucking rescued? Right? I don't put you guys in situations where I have to be rescued. I'm always telling you not to fucking get in situations where you have to be fucking rescued. Because when you care about somebody, you don't go, okay, Ivy, walk next to the pool, jump in. She's drowning! Mm-hmm. She's like, thank you for saving me. It's okay, just be careful, just be careful. And then you fucking kick her in the pool or something, you know what I mean? Like, what the fuck is she by the pool for? Now let's go have a picnic by the pool. Now let's go play with the dogs by the pool. Mm-hmm. Okay? Go on, anything else?
Yeah, and then when you were talking about, like, the cause and effect, I was just thinking, like, it's so ridiculous. And when I said I speak softly, I mean like this. So I speak to them, like, too kind.
Yeah, we've been saying that.
Yeah. But, yeah, and that's the part that I'm just like, what the heck? Because not everyone deserves my kindness, you know?
Very few people do.
Yeah. But for some reason, I was just freely giving my kindness and getting shit on, but then I kept on trying. And like, why isn't this working, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I saw the cause and effect of that, I'm just like, that's fucking ridiculous. Because like I know it, and then I'm just like, are you kidding me? Like I wasn't thinking of it as myself, you know. I'm thinking of it as like, why aren't they understanding, or why aren't they listening, or why are they so rude, or why is this? Why
Yeah,
is
the
that?
cause is
Why,
over there.
Yeah, why are they, not
Exactly.
why am I?
Oh.
And like that is like, whoa, because I would always look at them, and it would actually make me just resent them in a way, and I would just like not even want to be around them, and that was so wrong to feel that way. And I felt that after. I'm like, I would feel it in that instance that it's weird for me to feel this way about this person.
Well, yeah.
But it was because I was obviously pointing the finger the wrong way, and so inside I'm like getting fucked up, and I'm like, okay, it's them, but it's
That's right.
not. It's
Nope.
actually
Never
how
is.
I'm communicating, and I'm allowing that to be the case of like that situation, and I didn't see it like that. So that was just like, whoa, like that's me.
Mm-hmm.
That's me reflecting me.
It's huge.
Yeah,
It's huge. So is my fucking nipple.
it's great.
Thank you. Okay, very good, Jess. I'm gonna stop right there because that's a lot of good stuff, actually. Electra.
So I like how like basic the teaching is in a sense where
It
you
is.
can really
It's the 7 basic laws of alchemy.
yeah,
It's
where you
called
can
basic.
just really basically look at like, look, there's an effect that you want. There is a cause that you're either doing or you're not doing.
Yeah.
You know? So that cleared up a lot for me. At the same time, I know how to affect like this one goal that I have, but to make it bigger, I haven't figured out how to do that. And I don't yet see how it's possible.
It's in the word create. Okay?
Yeah.
You're not creating at the right magnitude for the effect that you want.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah.
So let's say my Facebook and Instagram, I'm famous because of it, and YouTube.
Yeah.
Do you know that you don't know one other person who uses Instagram and Facebook the way I do?
Totally.
I made myself famous because of the output I put on that thing.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there are people on Instagram who have a lot more things, a lot more followers and all that, and even Facebook. But they don't have what I have on Instagram and Facebook. People can see it. It's different.
Mm-hmm.
My creation on it is much greater than theirs.
It's pure.
There you go. That's why my followers are pure and my power is pure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And theirs is just, people come on and do all, no, that's not how mine works. And we just saw that I fucking have more than Grant Cardone and Ty Lopez put together alive. That is such a big statistic that if you follow that into the future, I'm about to whoop everyone's ass.
Yeah.
Because I'm just getting started on that.
Yeah.
These guys have been famous before me way a long time.
Yeah.
I'm the upcoming guy who's about to fucking cut through whatever the fuck they think they have going on.
Yeah.
And the comments that I got on it was that I'm better than those guys.
Yeah.
And they watch their shit. Fucking amazing. So you get what I'm saying? You have to create bigger. Like I was telling you about your language today. It's the same thing.
I worked on that. I did super good.
But you see, that's me saying your language has to create bigger.
Mm-hmm.
Your language is too small. Yeah. Good. Anything else?
No.
Okay, Hannah.
Well, it's so interesting. I've actually been struggling with this all day. Like,
Cool.
It's been, when you ask what's the matter, like this was what was the matter. So I just don't know really how to put it into words,
Mm-hmm.
Or took the time to figure it out, even though I was attempting to all day.
Yeah.
I really was.
I believe you.
And I was doing actions to get there, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But still, the effect that I want is just, the magnitude of it.
Yeah, it's very big. But you're capable of that, I can tell.
Cool. But it has no comparison to what I've been causing.
Mm-hmm.
And so what I've been just, squished with
Mm-hmm.
is that because, mentally, right?
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah, yeah.
And then I'm sitting in the physical, hold on.
Yeah.
What is going on? And where something is just way off. It's the worst math problem ever all day.
Yeah.
But there's just no solution for it.
There's always a solution if there's a problem, by definition.
I still don't have the physical solution yet, but I can see with the teaching
Yeah.
that it's there.
Yep.
You
Totally.
know, whereas before I was like,
You know where to
well,
look now for the
I'll just
solution.
wait. Yeah.
No. You don't wait.
Well, that's what
You
I've
create.
been. That's why I'm. That's
Hey,
why I
that's
was
a new one.
annoyed.
Don't wait. Create.
Yeah, that's a great one.
That's good. It's like a
Yeah.
shirt.
But like I've been like subtly annoyed
Mm-hmm.
all day because I'm like, there's no fucking solution.
Okay, everybody got it then?
Yeah.
Okay. I hope your mind is blown as everybody in here.
Whoa.
This is lecture 3, lecture 4 coming up. As Manu said to me, be the best and fuck the rest. Loyalty is royalty. Don't wait, create. I'm Submission, baby. See you in the next one.
Yay. Go, thank you.
Okay, everybody, welcome. This is lecture 4 of Abracadabra. I create what I speak. And as we go forward in these lectures, more and more power will be accumulated and you'll feel better. And tonight's lecture is one of my favorite topics, one of my favorite things to do in life. And I remember a while back, I thought to myself that I can't stop thinking. So I know I went over this at some other product, but I'm going to teach you guys a higher level.
Okay.
I was always trying to do Zen and meditation and try to get my mind to stop. Like what they try to do is just like no thinking is the goal, right?
Mm-hmm.
And in martial arts, I've been trying to achieve this for so long.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe like, I don't know, a couple of years ago, I had a sudden enlightenment or an idea where I thought, what if I spend like next 20 years and I don't fucking stop thinking? What am I doing?
Whoa.
Right?
Yeah.
And I thought, Manu would always tell me, always look at the other side of the coin too. Look at both sides of the coin, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I thought to myself, what if I take a look and I say, okay, I don't want to stop thinking. No. That's a correction on my dog, everybody. What if I don't want to stop thinking? What if I thought I want to keep thinking?
Mm-hmm.
I thought that's kind of interesting, right?
Yeah, totally.
I want to keep thinking. Then I thought, okay, so if that was the case, I want to keep thinking. Then how would I want to think? And I thought immediately the answer came right away in a flash, and it was think like a god.
Whoa.
Yeah.
So then I wrote a status that said, if you're going to think, then think like a god. And that was some years back, right? You remember that?
Yeah.
Okay. So today's lecture is going to be a step into that. So you guys get better at that,
Nice.
okay? First thing, in order to do that, you must begin to realize that your mind is going to be running. It's a machine that just goes, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't give it direction, then it's going to take direction from the environment.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Oh, what? I like that.
Yeah. I've never thought of it like that. If
It needs to think about something, right?
Yeah, but
So
to
then-
take direction from the environment, I wouldn't think. I mean.
It needs direction from somewhere. It needs to
Yeah.
think about something.
Yeah.
So if I'm not guiding it, and then someone out there says something, my mind goes to think about that thing,
Wow.
right?
Yeah.
And then something else happens over there. Someone says, oh man, life is so difficult. My mind goes into that.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because the mind is waiting to think about something. Its job is to solve problems and think and calculate responses to life, right? So the first thing to recognize is your mind is going to be thinking. Now, should you achieve a high level of Zen, I guess, or something, and not think, fantastic, then you be the first to teach me. But until then, I'm going to teach you what I'm doing to stay sane and powerful in a world that the mind is going nuts all the time. My mind is not nuts. My mind is very sane, and I feel very good in my mind. I love my mind, actually. It's my favorite thing in my entire life, besides my balls. I love my balls also.
That's great.
Yeah. Well, Tamron must be asleep because you didn't laugh. Stupid. Late laughter. So, if you're going to think like a god. Now, how is this going to happen and what are we doing? First thing to know is that your mind's going to take direction from somewhere. So, you have to give it direction. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
That's the first step. Do you have lipstick on your nose? Did you like...
I don't know. Probably.
How?
I don't know.
I don't even know how it's possible. Your mind needs direction from somewhere. So it's going to take direction from either outside or inside. The first step is to give direction from the inside. Second step is, what kind of direction are we going to give it? So my mother, for example, gives direction to her mind. I see her doing it. She gives this kind of direction. be careful. Everything is sad and everything is depressing.
Yeah.
Take care of someone, kind of thing.
Yeah, she will. No matter what the world. So if the outside, which would be me in this case, going over there, offer her, Mom, June 2nd is abracadabra release, and I'm gonna make minimally this much. That's the outside.
Yeah.
She will translate inside, internal talk with, well, be careful, don't tell people how much you make. People could get jealous, right?
Right.
So her mind takes direction internally with sadness and depression, and she's very, very good at it,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
right? She's she's much older than me, so she's been doing that for a long time. So her mind that's what it does.
Right.
My mind now, at 40 years old, also does something right away. It goes right into a certain state, and that's what we're going to look at tonight, so that you guys have an ability to create this, or your own state, you could call it, that you can start to enjoy having thoughts instead of trying to run from thoughts. I don't run from my thoughts. I like thinking a lot. Some of my favorite times are driving so I can think, and taking a shower so I can think. Those are where I get brilliance in those moments, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So the words I'm going to use are going to be very specific. Vince is fucking calling me right now. Okay. Tamron, can you still hear me?
I can hear you.
Great. So there's a phone call coming through if that's what's going on. So the words I'm going to use are very, very specific. And as you know, and if you've been watching me for a while, this is where my ability shines.
Mm-hmm.
I can find the right words, string together, and they seem to affect the mind a different way, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so, abracadabra, I create what I speak. And look at Totem's frozen. Totem, snap out of it. Damn nigga, I don't know what's up. Okay, whoa, I was out of it. That was like you, Jess.
Yeah, I know.
I was just stuck on my
that.
body's high, dude.
I don't
God.
even know.
That's exactly what you did.
That's what
That's
happens.
it.
Yeah. It was like,
Okay, here is no Midas. Can somebody? Can you do that?
But
I don't want to turn this.
Oh, true. Okay, yeah.
But since you're like lecturing about this, the other day I was like, remember I was like going up and down.
Yeah.
So I started studying about it, but then I realized I'm putting all of my attention on that subject. When
What's the subject?
the subject, like the emotions I was going through, you know.
Where are you? What the fuck were you studying? On
Just
YouTube?
how to get
Don't.
Yeah, but then I realized that because then electric came in my office and I was like stuck in the computer.
Yes.
But what this just made me realize, but I realized it then, but this is like a different kind of realization. So I realized that like I just sunk myself into it.
Yeah, but the 99% of the information on planet Earth is to trap you, and this is why I'm winning. I'm
Yeah,
that
but
1%
you told
information.
me to study like certain people. So
Okay,
it was
so
one
it was one of those people. That's
yeah.
fine. Yeah, that's okay.
It
Tony
wasn't
Robbins?
Just yeah.
Okay,
it
that's
wasn't
totally
just
cool.
a random
I believe in
one.
Tony Robbins. Okay, that's fine. First, start with your boyfriend. He's pretty brilliant.
Yeah, but I know.
But.
No, I know, but I just typed it in, and that was like I wasn't really. I
Okay.
was not on the right level, but I just realized again was all of my attention, and even on my outside world, was focused because I'm like taking this information, right? Even though I'm thinking, oh, this is gonna help me, and it might have like slightly. But I put my thought process was with that emotion,
Right.
And I didn't realize that until like right now.
Good realization.
Yeah, because
Okay.
like even if you're like studying and
Totally.
yeah, that
Okay.
was really cool.
Good. Good. Here's the exact words that are going to be able to trigger this feeling so your mind can start to move towards the direction you want it to move. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
And it's the very first word, second word, and third word. The rest of the sentence you can put yourself. Okay?
Okay.
It goes like this. Here we go. Ready?
For connection.
Okay.
I'm reading notes.
First hear it.
Okay.
Write notes later. Don't worry about it right now. Okay? Here we go. Listen, everybody. It goes like this. Push your mind to think ... It's the words push your mind to think that
Nice.
shows you how you do this.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that weird? Just by saying I have to
Yeah.
push my mind to think that
Yeah.
instead of just thinking that.
Yeah.
You care what you're going to throw up?
I was about to.
You're about to. So we start with the person goes, I want to think like a god, or I want to think better, I want to think like that. And they can't
Mm-hmm.
because they're missing one word. It's actually, you have to push your
Push,
mind to
yeah.
think like that.
Whoa.
What, Hannah?
Well, I don't know. I did it, and my like I actually started to feel like the action of pushing my mind to think a certain way. So not just thinking of, let's say, what I want or like a goal is over here.
Yeah.
And thinking of that in the present moment and bringing it here
Mm-hmm.
to me, right? But actually like moving through
Yeah.
the conditions or whatever, moving
Yeah.
through whatever to get there
Yeah.
is what I thought of. And so it created this like momentum
Yes.
in my mind.
Yes. So now we have the words that are going to trigger this, which is push your mind to think whatever. Right? So a person senses fear. It can happen, right? You're going to go outside and you're scared or some shit happens. And I go, push your mind to think with courage. Push your mind to think with courage. And that's different than have courage or think with courage.
Yeah.
You have to, there's an effort involved that's missing before, and it actually takes a push into your mind. It takes a level of energy. You get it? You need to start the engine, and the start of the engine is a push into the mind.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, your mind is already moving in a certain direction. So this comes from a law of physics, which says objects in motion tend to stay in motion until acted upon by an outside force.
Mm-hmm.
So your mind is already in motion, and it's going to stay in motion, and you can't change it unless you push with an outside. You have to literally come in from the outside of your mind and push into the mind.
Yeah.
So you push your mind to think a certain way. Otherwise, your mind is already working on this automatic thought. So if I have to tell my mom, think more positively. Mom, be grateful. Mom, blah, blah, blah. It's not happening because the mind's going. I go, Mom, push your mind to think about what you could be grateful for. Now, but you see, it's efforty. It actually takes some effort.
Mm-hmm.
Like it grinds the gears in your mind when you do it. You see that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a trip.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why people can't do it is because that grinding is not happening.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's naturally going where it's going. They're trying, but watch this. Every energy they put gets sucked up by the thought that's already there.
Whoa.
Mm-hmm.
And so you've caught yourself not being able to break out of that thought pattern because you haven't pushed into the thought pattern. You've just tried to think yourself out, but that thought pattern has now taken on its own power in the mind. It's moving, so every energy you put, it sucks it and goes, and it gets, but I can't, I'm getting more depressed, I'm getting more sad, but I'm getting more scared, but I just can't shake it. No, you need to push your mind to think a different way.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Nigga.
Ha.
that is powerful, but this is the beginning.
Yeah.
When you're pushing your mind to think through it, because you may be trying to change something,
Yeah,
but you're still thinking with it.
exactly. You're thinking with it,
Yeah.
so you don't want to think with it.
You want to push through it.
Mhm.
Like if you want to get over something, to go like push through it. Not
That's right.
I noticed within myself that I think with it. How am I going to get over this? I am feeling
Yes,
this.
yes.
I.
Yes, yes.
I'm like, I need to push through this.
That's right.
Not.
Now, watch this. Push through this to what?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you must now formulate for yourself what state your mind should be operating at.
Yeah.
So when I said, if you're going to think like a god,
Yeah.
that's a clue to what my internal command is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Very nice.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What, Electra? You've been very quiet over there.
Yeah, I'm getting it. This was the missing piece for me,
Yeah.
because I already think very strongly,
Yeah.
and when I wake up in the morning, I have to actively okay, I'm going to think right now.
That's pushing, by the way.
Yeah, but but to me, push was the right word that I needed.
I'm telling you, I found
Yeah.
the word. I grabbed
Yeah.
the word that moves the ether. It's weird.
Yeah.
I don't know how I do it, but this is what I do.
Yeah,
This is abracadabra, right?
yeah, totally.
It's the words push your mind seems to just unlock the ability.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
But if you say, think like this, try to think like that. Now listen,
Yeah.
don't think like that. Now here's what I want you to try to do. No, push your mind to think like a god.
Yeah.
You see that?
Totally.
Push your mind to think like a champion. Push your mind to think
Like the best.
like the best. Or whatever the fuck that end ... is.
Yeah.
To unlock the power is to push your mind. You must learn to push your mind. Watch this, because you also push your body to do things.
Totally.
You're tired, but you push yourself to do it. You're tired, but you push yourself to brush your fucking teeth. You push yourself to work out. You push yourself to go to work. You push yourself to wake the fuck up when you don't want to wake up. Do you see that?
So many things physically.
And so guess what? You missed the point that your mind was also a physical object like that, and you must push it the way you push your body. Unless you do that, you associate yourself so much with your mind, it would be like if you thought you were just a body.
Yeah.
Totally.
So you know you're not a body because you can start to push your body, go, okay, my body's sick, my body's tired, whatever. By the way, it's more advanced. Some of you don't know that. You're not a body. But then you get lost in your mind, not knowing you could push your mind the way you push your body. Which brings me to the cold shower exercise. And shout out to Wim Hof. What Wim Hof does. He starts, and this is what he does at this end. He starts like this, and he says, he's going to be okay. Every cell is going to be strong. He's going to be fine. No. Let me tell you, it's in today's Diamond Mind, actually, video.
Yeah.
The Wim Hof method consists of breathing, cold shower, cold water immersion, and mindset. Without the mindset, you're not doing the Wim Hof method.
Ah.
Then he said, out of the three, the most important is actually the mindset.
Totally.
Those other two just help the mindset.
Yeah.
And they help you practice the mindset. So the cold water helps you practice the mindset.
Totally.
The breathing brings enough oxygen so you get better mindset. But ultimately, you're just trying to get mindset.
Yeah.
He says because you have to get to the point where you just go, okay, sickness is not going to enter the body anymore. And then they inject you with a virus and the virus dies in your system.
Yeah.
But that's the mind.
Yeah.
And so you learn to push the mind to think strong.
Yeah.
So when you're a little bit aware, you learn to push your body. But when was the last time you shoved your mind into action?
Yeah.
And he said, I am not these thoughts. I am not this mind. So I must now push it into where I want it to go. Just like I need to get my body up at fucking 9 a.m. or 8:30 a.m. my alarm. No matter what, I get up at 8:30 a.m. I push myself to get up every morning. But that discipline has resulted in me having a powerful day with the schedule no matter what. I don't get lazy in my day.
Yeah.
So what about my mind? What's the alarm clock on my mind? Where is it that my mind needs to wake the fuck up?
Yeah.
Mine is in the shower. I must sharpen my mind before I get out of that fucking shower.
Yeah.
Okay? How you feeling over there? Not good. What do you need to do?
I'm just trying to flush it out.
Everybody get it?
Yeah.
There's more to it. Because that's the first part. The second part is the next three words. That if I give you these three words, God damn, you paid $97 for this product if you just bought it. Or maximum you paid $197. And this one little thing can completely alter the way you exist for the rest of your fucking eternity if you understand it.
Wow.
Get it. Get what the fuck is happening. This is not chicken soup for the soul. Okay? It's not.
great.
It's not a bunch of little fucking inspirational fucking stories. These are ancient alchemy techniques of the fucking mind to turn the lead of the mind into the gold of the mind.
That's great.
Thank you, Jessica. It's 5 actually after.
So, would you say push your mind to think like this when you want to change your physical state, and then push your mind through to think like you add that word when you
Whatever
want
that
to
is.
change
Yep.
the emotion.
Yes. And now your mind is difficult to push sometimes. So then you push your body to change its position so that you get access to the mind.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes your mind won't go. Like, don't just sit there. Get up and run around. Walk around. Take a cold shower. Run in place. Breathe. You need to change your physiology. That would be from Tony Robbins, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because if you change your physiology, it changes your mind. So the mind and the body are these two things intertwined. And you are intertwined to them.
Mm-hmm.
So you might have to use the push and pull of the mind and body to create the harmony that you want. I want a strong body and a strong mind. I want a healthy body and a healthy mind.
Mm-hmm.
I want a grateful body and a grateful mind. I want a loving body and a loving mind. I want a dangerous body and a dangerous mind. And they must go together. Someone text you?
No, I was just rereading whatever.
Okay. So, it goes, push your mind to blah, blah, blah. To think like, now let's fill that in for the purpose of this exercise. And I'm saying that because if you try this one, you'll do good for a little bit, then you'll probably crash pretty hard. Okay? I'm just warning you. So pick your own fucking words in this thing, okay?
Oh no.
Yeah, but I'll tell you, like if you go back to the Eye of Ra videos, you could pick any character or superhero and fill that in. Push your mind to think like that.
You know,
Yeah.
it's really funny how like certain medications or whatever are like warning signs. Warning signs.
Yeah, this is my warning
video.
sign for your mind,
Yeah.
okay? So, here we go. Let's pick right now a statement. Hold on, I'll make it better than that. So it'll be easy. Let's make... What happened to my phone? Okay. We're going to pick an easy one that's just not so mystical and powerful, but it's still, you can see a change. So we're going to use the word winner, right? Push your mind to think like a winner. See, if you say that to yourself right now, and you just, for a second, push your mind to think like a winner. Even watching this lecture right now, you could listen to it as a loser or a winner. It makes a difference.
Yeah.
If a loser watches my lecture, they get one thing. But if a winner is listening to me, they can listen to it differently. So let's use winner right now. Push your mind to think like a winner. Ready? And now here comes the next 5 words that if you put it together, you have this sentence that's magic and you throw it out and it's yours. Okay? It goes like this. Push your mind to think like a winner. Even in the smallest tasks. Yeah. Taryn! Get over here and sit on my face, bitch! Push your mind to think, in this case, like a winner, even in the smallest tasks. If you get that, and you give that as the command internally, you start to practice what I practice, which is it at all tasks. And I've been telling you this for a long time. It's the way you do anything, that's the way you do everything.
So I had like a slight moment of that thought earlier today when I was about to train Angie. I was like, I need to train her as if the whole world is watching me right now.
Uh-huh.
And after, she was like...
And let's not name names next time.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, I would...
We could even end that if you like, because they're going to be watching that.
Yeah, totally.
Okay? Push your mind to think like a winner, even in the smallest tasks.
Yeah.
Now, let me change it and give you the bigger one. Push your mind to think like a god, even in the smallest tasks. How would a god take a shower? How would a god eat food? How would a god interact with his or her dogs? How would a god interact with others? How would a god experience depression and sadness and fear? There's a big difference.
Yeah.
Totally.
But in order to get to that level, you must push your mind to think like a god, even in the smallest tasks. There's the sentence. Hallelujah. I'm admiring myself right now. Give me a second.
Totally.
Because I haven't taught it yet.
Yeah.
So it's the first time I'm putting it outside of me to you.
Right.
Push your mind to think like a winner, even in the smallest tasks. Now I'm teaching a wrestling class, or I'm teaching a jiu-jitsu class, and I start running that with everybody. The mantra today, and from now on, every time you come, you're gonna teach them. You're gonna push your mind to think like a winner, even in the smallest tasks today. All right, everybody, water break, like a fucking winner.
Yeah.
It just like
Push-ups, like a fucking winner. What?
Feels really good to think like that. Like
It does feel really good to think like
actually
this.
just like it feels good. Like it's like a almost like a
Yes, it is that.
in my head.
It is truly that. This turns your mind golden, really. Diamond golden, whatever. Push your mind to think like whatever in even the smallest task. So you now need to design your mind by giving yourself a few ideas that you could play with. Then you watch a movie, read a book, see a person, listen to a song, and it inspires you. And let's say I'm thinking fucking the Hulk in the Avengers, right? And I go to myself, push your mind to think like the Hulk, even in the smallest tasks. So I can use that as practice with my mind. But now my mind has a direction which tells it. in everything I do, these are the choices, and these choices are all great. Because what's happening is you have been pushed into thinking with your mind a certain way, even in the smallest tasks.
Mm-hmm.
You just were not aware because you were fucking young, and the goddamn slave master gets a hold of you and puts fucking slave morals into your mind, slave mentality, slave bullshit, and next thing you know, even in the smallest things, you're fucking yourself up. You're fucking yourself up walking up and down the fucking stairs. You're fucking yourself when you fucking shower. You're fucking yourself when you look in the mirror to brush your teeth. You're always thinking negative shit because you've pushed your mind to think like a shithead even in the smallest tasks. And so people's minds are constantly occupied in that shit.
Totally.
Look, Alexa looks like a fucking computer right now. Look at her face. You're processing.
Totally.
She's like this. Like,
I was like
it's like a fucking matrix.
going through like all of my everything. You
Go,
know what I
go.
mean?
Tell me what's happening. I saw your mind working like that.
I have to push to talk right now. That's what's up. Like this is it's so like profound.
I know.
It's
and people
it's
still
too
won't get it.
much.
People don't get what I just said. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
It's beyond comprehension even.
Yeah.
It's the ocean I just gave to people.
Totally.
It's the fire of the gods, Prometheus, I just gave to people.
Yeah.
You could change your entire life if you
I'm
got
like
what I just said.
1,000,000%.
Yeah.
They're like
Go
at
on.
the shoreline
Go on.
here, way out.
Yeah. I mean, I just look at, the way that I live, and it is shit compared to what it is, like what is possible,
Yeah.
right? And what would be if I had decided my true expression.
There you go.
You know what I mean?
It's fascinating that you say that because the words true expression,
Yeah.
later on, if you follow this line, those words will actually come out somewhere, which is very funny.
Yeah,
Interesting.
no, I get that.
Like I follow the world through words.
Yeah.
And if you follow what I'm saying, at some point, the words true expression will appear.
I totally get
It's
that.
really cool. Yeah.
Yeah. It's amazing.
Yeah. Cool. Hannah? I got one more piece and then we finish.
Okay, well, I mean, I just see like, the metaphor that you used, the ocean, to describe it of openness and like every step, like every breath, everything that's done, would be different if like the depth of just that sentence is applied.
Absolutely. Let's wrap the whole thing up, okay? Push yourself. What's going on there? Push yourself to think like a god or a winner or whatever, even in the smallest tasks.
Mm-hmm.
Got it? Now, I want you to imagine for just a second a regular activity that you normally do that you don't pay much attention to. Some shit you do on a daily basis, your routine, right?
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't require much attention, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I want you to imagine that activity right now, but you saying, in that small task, I'm going to think like this. And watch what happens to that activity in your mind. It becomes very, very cool.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what's called being alive. You get that?
Wow.
Then you don't miss the moment. You're only missing the moment because in those small tasks, your true expression is not out.
Yeah.
When you begin to truly express yourself, life feels amazing even when it's down.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Even when it's not going your way, the intensity of life and living makes it worth the game.
Mm-hmm.
You get it?
Totally.
But when life dulls, that's my problem then. I'm not okay with a dull life. I'm not okay with a boring life. I'm not okay with a dull or boring relationship. I want intensity in my life. I want to know I am here. And I don't want just moments where, I don't know, something major happens, I realize I'm alive. From brushing the teeth to walking up here, all of it could start to amplify if you say, even these small tasks, I will push my mind to think this way. Then suddenly your expression comes out. Question is actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
No, you need
let's say that you begin to think like a god, right?
Yeah.
Let's just say that, right?
Yeah, just for now. I'm not
Yeah,
saying this is
totally.
not think like a god. That's
No,
just an example. Okay?
let me. I can even rephrase that.
Yeah.
Let's say that
A winner
you
is a
become
safe one.
very like in each moment you're extremely alive,
Yeah.
right? Okay. So the thing that happens for me when I do that is, in a sense, no mind, right? Because then I'm like, and then even like this moment, I'm like,
Yeah.
whoa,
Yeah.
right? Where
It's magic.
yeah, where you don't have to necessarily think, right?
Yeah.
So
So that was my solution to fucking overthinking,
yeah,
which is exactly what you said.
Totally.
I looked at the opposite side of the coin because I couldn't stop thinking. So I started to do this process, and like you said, suddenly I'm here,
yeah,
and my mind is clear.
yeah. That's cool.
That's the whole point.
Yeah,
Exactly what I started the lecture
I didn't
with.
realize that it would come full circle like that. You know what I mean?
Well, I started by saying that I couldn't stop thinking, and that was my task for the beginning of my whole life.
Yeah.
And then I said, let's look at the other side of the coin.
Yeah.
What if I was going to think instead as a goal? What would I think like? Here we go, bop, 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 bop. Then these words start to be extracted. Then I put the words together. And then when I do that, it's, am I thinking? Am I not? It's different. It's different than thinking. It's lighter.
Yeah.
There's a thought there, but it's more like a theme.
Yeah.
It becomes a theme instead of a thought.
Totally.
I live with a theme, right?
Yeah.
So if people are observing me live in a theme. It's
Yeah.
not a god. You think it's a god, and that's okay. I make everybody think it's a god because that hides what it actually is, which is what I am.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Ah.
it is a theme and a flavor that people can feel.
Yeah.
It's like
Because in the smallest tasks, I carry myself as such.
Yeah.
And when I don't do that, that's when I'm not okay with me. In any situation, in an argument with you guys, in an upset with you guys, in an upset with my friends, in even in a win, when I'm not okay with me, is when I didn't do that. I didn't, like I said, my true voice wasn't there.
Right.
And so if my true voice is not there, then the moment is overriding me and swallowing me. I don't want
Yeah.
that shit. I will swallow the moment any day.
Yeah.
I will swallow time. I will swallow space. I will swallow life, and I will swallow death, because my voice will be heard in all of those moments. Yeah?
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah, what's up, Electra?
This is like literally like a moment of enlightenment for me. You know what I
Good,
mean?
and you're pretty enlightened.
And I'm pretty enlightened, but this is like a different fucking level.
Good. So that's a strong note. I'm going to end it on that, okay? Now I'm going to go around. I'm going to start with you, Jess. Give me a quick brief if you have any questions or what it is, and then we wrap it up. Okay, starting with you.
Like right now.
Yes.
Okay. Well, that was extremely powerful, as they all are. But they're all powerful in their own individual ways. Like every day I think that I'm like, okay, I did it with this teaching, and then there's another teaching, and I'm like, holy fuck, if I had that little piece.
Life would have been so much easier and better.
Yeah.
I have an easy time in life, guys.
Remember to delete that part. But when I was training a person earlier today, and I thought similar, not like that, but similar, as if the whole world was watching me, and like this is my time, like this is my stage right now.
Right,
you
right.
know? And like I would never mess up on a runway. You could never, and if you do, you make it like it's part of the
Yeah,
show.
exactly.
So I was thinking like that, and like her reaction afterward was so like she was like, it just gets better and better.
Good.
So I felt that, but if I had this, I would have freaking like, she would have.
You would have made her come. You would have made her come, right? Should have come, probably
totally.
come, right?
Yeah.
Which is inappropriate, really.
It's super inappropriate, but she would have came from your teaching.
That's
so.
true. That's true. Okay.
And then also the part where you push your mind to think through it was just like so relieving for me to hear.
Why?
Because there's so many, not so many, there's moments when I can't get out of something. I get out of it, but it comes back, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm just like, what the fuck? I did these things that I've been taught. And maybe I'm doing it wrong. So I'll look back at it and, like, try to find where I'm, like, messing up. There's, like, one screw that's not tightened.
Yeah.
And push my mind to think through an emotion that's what I needed to hear.
Yeah, you did. That's what the world needs to hear, is those words.
Yeah, totally. Because a lot of people, and I can say that because a lot of people that I associate with, like my clients, and when I hear them talk, they're stuck in that emotion. And if they were to hear to push, it's like simple words put together, but it's simple words that are so powerful that they may be basic to other people, but when the people actually hear it, they're like, holy fuck, it's been right in front of me, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So that's what it kind of was for me. Like, it was right there. Like, but only you would know to put those words together. Only you would know to make that sentence a powerful, just...
Wait till you see what the future brings. I got a glimpse of what the future would be today.
And
future teachers.
so there's that. And then also when Electra said about true expression, I realized I hide that because I don't want to... Maybe someone's going to think I look dumb, but I just caught that part where I'm like, why do I care what these people think? Like, that's who I am. So I will hold myself back in certain things where I can, like, really shine in because I'm thinking of, like, what are these people going to think of me? And that's, like, so pathetic and just dumb. So I was just like, whoa. And then looking at them and feeling like when you said that thing about... I don't know, like object in motion.
Yeah.
That one, I saw Hannah, and I just felt her like, yeah, and that was cool. Like feeling everyone's like energy and like seeing like. I got some energy you could feel. Whoa.
Okay. Yeah. Inappropriate.
Or videoing.
Okay. Oh, well, sorry everybody. I'm thinking I'm in my own house, kicking with my girlfriends. Okay. Very good. Were you karate chopping?
Feather.
Okay. Okay. Electra.
So I just had another, like, realization from the teaching. So, like, there's been definite moments that I can clearly remember in my life where I have, like, really reached, like, a certain level of enlightenment, I guess you can say, for myself, right?
Yeah.
And I know that it definitely... I know that they've never stayed. Like, of course, my knowledge that I've gained from those times and the experience, it's definitely great. But I know that the sensations and the awareness of life starts to fade.
Absolutely will. Okay? Absolutely will.
But at the same time, because of the teaching, that's the technique that you use, right? But before, I didn't have a technique. I was just trying to grip so tightly to the experience of being so aware and so enlightened.
Right.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah.
So what I recognized, though, is that, one, I recognized that already the mind started to enter in and the thoughts started to go. And they were like, well, you haven't been able to keep this feeling before. Right? And I was like, why would I think so small like that? Right?
Yeah.
So then I raised it up and I noticed that. But at the same time, then I took a look at the actual teaching in itself. Push your mind to think like blank, right? So that's the technique you use.
Yeah.
That I would use if I start to lose the luster of life or the, you know what I mean?
I gotta teach you something here because I know what the pitfalls will be.
Yeah.
Suddenly, you won't be able to think like that.
Right.
Or it won't work. Then immediately search your mind for what it needs to think like to be good again.
Right.
Nice.
It's never one thing.
Totally.
So I can think like God, think like God, think like God, think like God. Suddenly I can't think like God, and I'm like, what? It goes think like the devil. Fuck it, it's the devil now.
Yeah.
So if you get stuck to one thing, you fuck up.
Yeah.
The technique is the formula. What needs to be plugged in will be different on the energy of the day, on you, on what the fuck you're going to be doing later. Who knows?
Yeah.
That's where my trust of life comes in.
Totally.
That's where my trust of lectures comes in. I just know it's going to be right.
Yeah.
So I can't catch it. I can't catch it. I can't catch it. And then I just go, fuck it. It's not supposed to be that.
Yeah.
So what am I supposed to think like right now? This is boom, pow. And then it becomes that for a while.
Right.
And that's the right frequency, the right thing to do for me during this time.
Totally.
But the formula is still the same.
Yeah. Totally. Can I say one
Yeah,
more
yeah.
thing? So something that was different from now between other like moments when I've like really learned something and I really got it is that when you said that like basically like you're acting like a slave. You know what I mean?
Yes, and even in the smallest tasks, you're thinking, your mind's been pushed to think like a slave.
Totally. So when I was computing and
So
looking
you're deleting shit.
Totally.
It's literally deleting. I know exactly how the mind works. Like
because I realized that, you know, of course, like we grow up and we take on like ways of being a human from people that aren't thinking so powerfully. You know what I mean?
For real.
So then I was able to see like all of the ways that I'm being that haven't been like me in them.
Not your true expression.
Yeah. Not
Other
my true
people's expression.
Yeah.
You get it?
Totally.
So,
other people's expression, exactly.
Exactly. So example. Now the world, again today at lunch, now women want to know how you guys are with me.
Yeah.
And it's so fascinating. And they want to be happy like you.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm getting this constantly now. Messages on Instagram. Today when we're eating, it's just like, whoa, what? Wow. Like, wow. And then watch our live lectures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those bitches want to be with me.
Yeah.
And they're probably watching. You bitches want to be with me.
Totally, though.
But we all know this, right?
Yeah.
So, this is a true expression
Yeah.
versus other people's
Totally.
expression of what a relationship should be.
Yeah.
And that's the difference.
Yeah.
So, true expression fascinates people, mesmerizes them, spellbinds them,
Yeah.
because it's so raw. It's like looking at a fucking sunset or looking at the most incredible tree or an eagle flying. Like what? You just go, whoa, and you just stop and stare at the fucking thing.
Yeah, totally.
And when they look at our relationship, they stop and stare.
Yeah.
And they just can't compute because their little mind doesn't get it. But now there's other people that are doing it and the relationship is incredible.
Yeah.
Why? Because this is the expression of life
Yeah.
versus growing up and somebody telling me what a relationship between a man and woman should be, yet they were miserable.
Yeah. Totally.
And I looked and they were miserable. And they were miserable. And they were miserable. And they were all telling me this is how men and women relate.
Yeah.
Well, fuck it, then I don't want to relate like that.
Right.
I'll figure out some other fucking way to relate.
Yeah.
And then I'll be the goddamn proof. And I am. And you are. And that's the difference now. And that's what you're saying, because even the smallest tasks, that's how it was.
Yeah.
Or even the way I look. Now there are some individuals that look like me. But they didn't look like me before.
Yeah. Totally.
I started this look 20 years ago.
Yeah.
22 years ago. The only people with tattoos like this were people in jail at that time. Straight up. That's it.
Yeah.
Now it's kind of cool. But it wasn't like this. You understand?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
Tattoos on the face and all that is a new thing. It's like last 5-6 years.
Yeah.
Okay? Okay, very good. Hannah.
I don't know. Well, look, my feeling, it's so interesting. I feel like so
Your makeup looks good, huh?
light.
Makeup looks good, right?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, looks good.
Cool. I don't know how to like put into words. I feel so good. Like I don't know. Like
Good.
mentally, I feel like if there was like a light or some sort of godly experience, this
Yeah.
would be it.
Cool. Very cool.
I mean, I reviewed, thoughts, let's say prior to that sentence and to the teaching, like that I would have throughout the day, and just replace them with this, and I just felt like so much unnecessary mass or unnecessary not consistently positive emotions from those thoughts
Yeah.
just kind of like go away.
Yeah, that's it. They dissolve.
Yeah, and so I feel just like I don't know, just way different. My the way that I like see everything is so different, or
Yeah,
see
you all look
everyone.
great. Yeah,
Like, I feel like my
Same.
vision is different.
like
Yeah.
it is. You've been under a very heavy spell, and all I'm doing on Earth right now is just removing those curses.
Yeah, and I got
it.
emotional too when you were talking. There was like a little bit of tears,
Sure.
that started to come
Sure,
out,
of course.
and more in happiness though.
Hmm.
That like this type of feeling is possible.
Absolutely. It's not only possible, okay, it's desired and it's normal. This is the normal condition for a spiritual being, not the other one.
Yeah.
A spiritual being creates their existence.
Yeah, totally.
You are a spiritual being having a human experience.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah, that,
that's
like,
what
makes
you're supposed to.
me cry.
Yeah, that's what you're supposed to create your human experience. How do you want to define? How do you want to design your life? How do you want to design your mind? Well, you design your body. I see it happening. Why don't you design your mind? Because that's what I keep doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My mind is a beautiful place to be in. How do I know? I'd share a piece of it and look at what happens to everybody. You've now gotten a portion, a fraction, literally a fraction. You know what a fraction is? A fraction. A fraction of this room would be how much? A fraction of your body would be how much? You've gotten a fraction of my thought. And look at the effect that it has in your mind.
Yeah.
It explodes it.
Yeah, it's
Pretty fucking cool.
yeah.
There it is. That's lecture 4. Abracadabra.
Whoa,
Create what I speak. See you on the next one.
that is so cool.